Fox Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
A rarity here in Houston. First time this year and first time in a non-COVID year since 2014 they have decided to open the roof. You look at the temperature, nice, well, cooler than you're used to when you think of Houston, Texas. Mid-50s, it'll warm up to the 60s. The sun shining, so some shadows on the field as Pete Carroll and the Seahawks trying to go back-to-back wins for the first time this year. And over his career as a head coach, trying to get that 150th regular season win. And David Culley in his first year as head coach. Seattle won the toss and deferred back to receive Tremont Smith. And it's been 200 games, longest current drought in the NFL since a kickoff return for a touchdown for the Texans. Jacoby Jones was the last to do it. And this is a touchback. We head down to the field. Say hi to Jen Hale. Jen?
Well, hello there, Chris. You know, perhaps more than a victory today, the Texans need to decide if Davis Mills is their quarterback of the future. David Culley says, look, he's got all the physical attributes. His decision-making, that's the question mark. The Texans know Tyrod Taylor is not the answer. 5 interceptions, 12 sacks in the last 4 weeks. That answered that. Now, offensive coordinator Tim Kelly says be prepared to see a more confident, decisive Davis Mills, guys, especially when he's on the move to his right. That's when Kelly likes him the best.
Thanks, Jen. On first down, it's a handoff straight ahead. Rex Burkhead gets nothing and has to like it. Davis Mills, 3 home starts. The last 3 that the 3 that he had. This is his 7th start of the season. 6 touchdowns and 1 interception. Still looking for his first win as an NFL starter.
Yeah, and he just has to play more football and kind of get used to and comfortable in that. He played 11 games at Stanford. You saw there he started 6 games, came in, at other times during the course of the season for Tyrod Taylor. But he has not been the starting quarterback for a lot of football at this stage of his career.
After a loss of 1, quick toss to Brandon Cooks, who's dancing his way up around the 30 before being shoved back. And this offensive line, Justin Britt back at center, originally drafted by the Seahawks. A lot of X's in Texas. That's a song, isn't it? All my X's are in Texas. Well, he helps that offensive line up front.
Yeah, and they're getting healthier in that offensive line, and that's going to be important because they do want to be a run-first team. They want to be able to commit to that running game. It's going to be challenging today with David Johnson out in the COVID protocols. It's just Rex Burkhead and Royce Freeman as the running backs here today this afternoon.
On a 3rd down and 4 from just across the Texas 30-yard line. Mills from the pocket, well protected, catch made up across the 40. Davion Davis from Sam Houston State, free agent backup receiver behind Cooks and Collins and Chris Conley, and it looks like he's limping and gimpy to the sideline.
Yeah, and that's a shame because that was one of the guys that they talked about. They were going to work from that inside spot right where you saw him pre-snap there. Talked about his strong hands, his ability to get north-south very quickly. And this is going to be the one things today that Davis Mills will have to do. Get rid of that football quickly.
Picked up 17. They'll be checking on Davis. Burkhead the back. He gets the carry, finds a hole, and to the 48-yard line of Seattle, a defense that we mentioned in that second half, especially against the 49ers last week. Outstanding. Al Woods clogging the middle up front. And, of course, Bobby Wagner, most tackles of anybody since he's coming to the league in 2012.
Yeah, one of the things that Ken Norton, the defensive coordinator for Seattle, had to be very good with this week is make sure his defense was not looking at statistics. This offense for the Houston Texans, last in scoring, rushing offense, and total offense.
And no Jamal Adams, surgery. Ryan Neal in that spot. Mills on the move, flips to Chris Conley, and he's got a first down. We'll check the spot. They say that he stayed inbounds. Looks like he had to maneuver his feet to avoid stepping out of bounds, but Mills looks good early.
And you heard Jen Hale talk about him moving to his right, so that's a nice job right there with the play design. Get him into his comfort zone early, which is one of the things you want to do with a young quarterback, make him feel comfortable in this opening drive.
3rd round draft pick from Stanford. His best game was against the Patriots this year. Over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. Set to throw. Has time and open inside the 15. Nico Collins knocked down at the 5, and it's 1st and goal Texans.
And when you're able to commit to that run, it has an impact on the linebackers. They're going to turn Jordan Brooks around a little bit here. I think number 56 at that linebacker level. Watch Nico Collins come over the top. There's Jordan Brooks right there. Goes inside. Loses sight of him as he crosses the field. Watch number 12, Nico Collins. There's 56. Kind of breaks to his right. And Davis Mills does a good job with that anticipation, which is something that they've seen an improvement in since earlier in the season when he was the starter.
That was rookie to rookie. We may be looking at the future of this Texan connection with Mills to Collins. Collins, a third-round draft pick out of Michigan, and the Texans use a timeout on this opening drive. Fox Super 6 giving you another chance to win $100,000 of Terry's money. Scan the QR code now. Enter your picks for the NFL Sunday Challenge for a chance at the jackpot. It's free to play. Download the Super 6 app now. We hope you win. Looks like Terry's stealing his own money in that briefcase. Howie Blake, security guard. And a lot of Seahawk fans here. The 12s have traveled into Texas, making a lot of noise in pregame when Russell Wilson came out. And fashionably ready for a cool day here. Mills starting 4 out of 4. And a first and goal from the 5-yard line.
And this is one of the strengths that this defense for Seattle has given up some yards, but they're very good situationally. And one of those areas you have to be good at is red zone touchdown percentage, and they've played well so far this season in these situations.
Collins in motion. Mills. Can he run for it? No. In the corner of the end zone. That's a touchdown, Texans. Rookie Brevin Jordan. Mills had a chance maybe to keep for the goal line, but all alone drifting back. Another rookie from the University of Miami, the 5th rounder. Jordan holds it in.
Yeah, just really composed during this entire drive. And there goes Brevin Jordan across the back. Nobody finds him. Nobody picks him up as he crosses over. And you were right, Chris. He's moving up. He's threatening that line of scrimmage. And some of the things that Coach Culley talked to us about, the decision making, got that defense to come up on him, got it over the top to Brevin Jordan.
Well, he looked like a veteran on that drive against a Seattle defense that came in hot. Extra point to Amy Fairbairn to make it a 7-0 Houston advantage. The 2-win Texans. We have not come here to bury the Texans or to praise them, but that was an impressive opening drive for a quick lead over the visiting Hawks. First points of this Texan offense in 19 drives, and Mills was outstanding. 5 out of 5 on the touchdown toss, and the last Texans opening drive for a touchdown was back in week 5 against New England when Mills, as I mentioned, had his best game. Also had a pretty good game against the Rams in a defeat, late charge, but he topped 300 yards, and that was his last start. Back to receive, DJ Dallas. He'll let it sail. And out to the 25-yard line come the Seahawks and Russell Wilson. An outstanding game in the 68 offensive plays that they ran against the 49ers last week. Most that they've run this year. They're last in time of possession, so that's something they want to kind of flip so they can control the game a little better. Yeah,
that's one of the more surprising things about this offense, and it shows you how much they've struggled with their consistency during the course of the season. But to see Seattle last in time of possession, a team that runs the football well. Russell kind of coordinates this offense well, where they're trying to control the clock and wear you down. So one of the more surprising statistics around the NFL here this week.
But healthier every game, almost 100%. Missed 3 games on injured reserve, returned against the Packers, remember, and had that 81% completion in the last game. And powering his way is Rashad Penny near a first down. He looked good last week. His best game in 2 years, and that was against the 49er defense.
Yeah, and this has just been a tough go for Rashad Penny, coming back off that ACL injury, going all the way back to December of 2019. This is the first time in his career that he's going to have back-to-back starts since that time he had that surgery. So, very impressive last week. You can see that burst. You can see the power.
See a lot of him. Alex Collins battling that abdomen injury. He is available. Here's Penny again with a lot of room. First down up near the 48 of Seattle.
Well, nobody took the outside run support. I'm not really sure exactly what was going on here, because somebody has to contain the outside. Look, you got 3 guys right here. Somebody should have the outside, right? Everybody goes down inside. That's really easy. I mean, it's a long time before Eric Murray's stepping up to make that tackle.
Former first-round draft pick who's missed nearly half the games available in his career because of injury, as Collins gets tackled right away. Camus Grugier-Hill has been one of the steadier. They had 19 tackles last week, which was a team record. Steadier players on defense. For the offense here, Brandon Shell is out at right tackle. Jake Curran steps into that spot.
Yeah, and exactly looking for this opportunity for the Seattle offense to run the football. This is the worst rush defense in the NFL, giving up over 144 yards per game. So not surprised to see the commitment to the run to start.
Russell's throw, catch made by Collins, stays inbounds. It was Grugier-Hill once again up front. Jacob Martin, former Seattle Seahawk, involved in that Jadeveon Clowney trade, has done well. He's got 4 sacks for the Texans.
Yeah, that defensive line will rotate during the course of the game. You'll see 8 different players in there trying to stay fresh. Garrett Wallow, the rookie, in there. Good job last weekend filling in for Zach Cunningham, who was released this week. And one of the things that got Pete Carroll's attention, this defense twice in the last 4 games has had 5 takeaway games.
And they've been blitzing a lot more, the Texans have, in the last 4 and 5 games. On a 3rd and 10, Wilson can't find anybody, but look at Russell move and throw down the sideline, and the catch made. Reaching up is Tyler Lockett and staying in bounds. Well, that's vintage Russell Wilson there, making that happen.
Well, this is the one thing. Every time you play the Seattle Seahawks, the defensive team will say the one thing we can't let happen is to let it become kind of a sandlot game. We can't let Russell Wilson get outside of the pocket and start to create. And there's your example why. Great job between him and Tyler Lockett for the big play.
Pick up at 29 yards from the 24. Fake to DJ Dallas. A quick throw inside the 20, and Lockett hauls it in again. So that's 59 catches for him this season.
Russell Wilson is so good in the pocket. You saw there, he was in that one position, and he never panics. He's just so poised in the pocket. Just kind of hunkers down. Everything's breaking down around him, but he holds there. Then he escapes late to get out to the right side.
And Lockett, most catches without a drop this season, as DJ Dallas gets down around the 15-yard line. Travis Homer is inactive. He was outstanding on special teams, battling a calf and hamstring. So you've got Penny and Dallas, and then Collins trying to work through a little bit of his injury.
I think that's going to be the big question today. How effective is Alex Collins? We've already seen Rashad Penny, and he's off to a good start here this afternoon. But I really think that those 2 guys, the way that they run, Alex Collins especially, they're kind of tone setters. They get out and they run that ball physically, and they set the tone for the offense for the course of the day.
And they have 3 tight ends on 3rd down 2. The pitch to Penny. And well played by the Texans. Run out of bounds before he could get back upfield and inside the 20. Garrett Wallow, the rookie linebacker who is playing for Zach Cunningham, who was released this week.
Yeah, you watch number 32 on the run through right there, fights off the block, gets through to make the tackle behind the line of scrimmage. Really good instincts right there. Trusting your eyes and then finding your way through that blocking scheme.
Setting up for a 38-yard field goal on 4th and 6. Jason Myers. And the kick is good. From the shadows to the sun to a ball going through the upright. So an impressive drive stalls on the big Texan defensive play. Davis Mills and the Texans, are opening drive impressive. They're hanging on to a 7-3 first quarter advantage. Over 4.5 minutes on that drive, covering 56 yards, settling for the field goal. Both quarterbacks perfect so far. Russell Wilson 3 out of 3. And Mills 5 out of 5. Back to receive Tremont Smith, ranked 3rd in the NFL back in 2018 when he returned kicks for Kansas City, and a 44-yarder against the Rams earlier this year. But looking into the sun, he will not have an opportunity. Out to the 25 they come. And last drive went well, as perfect as it could.
Yeah, and one of the big things that they made the switch was decision making. And watch how decisive Davis Mills is on these throws. He sees the open receiver, gets it to him. Another area, anticipation. I really like that throw to Nico Collins right there. That shows you the growth he's had during the course of this season, whether he's been the starter or watching Tyrod Taylor play. And then again there, you talked about the ability to maybe carry that into the end zone on his own. But I like that decision to get it to Brevin Jordan in the back corner.
And again, without Jamal Adams, their safety. So Ryan Neal, there he is at number 26, who's filled in before, having to work that secondary. Royce Freeman on the carry. Let's get a game break. Say hi, Carissa Thompson. Carissa?
Hello, Chris. A few teams in the NFC wildcard hunt. Falcons, Panthers. Cam Newton keeps it for himself. 12-yard touchdown run. His 4th straight game with a rushing touchdown. Panthers up early, 7-0. Chris?
All right, thank you. Carissa will keep us up to date on all the other games going on around this one after a 1-yard pickup. Bobby Wagner looking in. Mills to throw. Completes. That's Brevin Jordan, who had the touchdown catch. Good enough for a first down, and for the rookie Mills, the best 6 out of 6, completing 6 straight passes so far. A high water mark, and his first year in the league.
Just take the completions, go through your progression, but you've got that first guy open. Just take that. Let your playmakers, catch the ball and run. It's one of the things that Davis Mills talked about that he really wanted to do a good job today, was get the football to all the different guys in the offensive skill positions.
He said he's seen the defense is better. Here comes a blitz on the run play to Freeman. Bobby Wagner, first one to him, and shoves back Freeman, former Panther and Bronco. Well, in college, Davis Mills, and you mentioned earlier, didn't have a whole lot of starts for Stanford. He wore the wristband to call plays, but he told us here, and his offensive coordinator said no, he didn't want to have. He wanted to be able to take the play in on the audio. There's Tim Kelly, and then process it, not waste time looking at a number and calling it out.
Yeah, I think it really helps quarterbacks when they do that, the play call that way, because it helps them visualize what they're going to be seeing.
Rolling to his right with a lot of room. And sideline, did he hold on? Yes, that's Collins with the catch, and then going out of bounds at the 43-yard line of Houston.
One of the things they're doing right now as an offense is not having those negative plays. They're playing penalty free right now. They're staying ahead of the chains, and that's allowing them to have access to the entire playbook on every snap. And it's going to be important for them. We mentioned they want to lean on that run game. It's going to be hard to do for them if they start to have negative plays and get into bad down and distance situations.
Quirk had the back, capable as a receiver if needed. Quick toss to Jordan, and he can't get away. He won't get the first down. Sidney Jones got to him, and it's 4th down. Need to get to the 45 and without hesitation here. And I'm just wondering, with a 2-win team, too early to gamble on 4th.
You would be a very aggressive game caller, Chris. I mean, you'd be going for it everywhere on 4th down.
Well,
hey, they don't expect it from our 10-yard line.
Or you could fake it. It's the role of the fan. The fans always want to go for it because they don't get fired if it doesn't work out. Or I don't necessarily. Got a pretty good battle. Freddie Swain is back between both of the punters who are getting Pro Bowl votes for the AFC and NFC. Cameron Johnston drives it out of there. And nice kick that rolls inside the 5. Wow. And quick to down it, A.J. Moore. Like I said, they should punt and pin him back. Play that special teams game. That's why you're the analyst. I just call out numbers and stats. All right, Russell Wilson, 3 out of 3 last time. Can he dig the Seahawks out of this hole, trailing by 4? Cameron Johnston, a 54-yard punt without a return from Australia, and he came in tied with Michael Dixon of the Seahawks for the most punts in the NFL this season. At 66, they've each added 1.
I think it's so impressive what these guys are doing, and the punters in the NFL today have become so good. We're starting to see guys field the football at the 5-yard line because they've gotten so good at burying you inside the 5. That last punt, kind of that Aussie style, end over end, but not to force the fair catch, to actually directionally kick it that way, let it hit the ground, and then roll forward. I mean, they're so impressive in today's NFL. It's not just standing back there and just driving the ball as far as they can. There's so much more that goes into the punting game in the current NFL.
From their own 3-yard line, Rashad Penny gets the carry. It has a big hole straight ahead, but it closes in a hurry. Looked like he was going to get a lot more out of that before Jonathan Grenard, who's known more for his sacks, 8 this year, second-year player from Florida. He did a nice job on the run as they go without a huddle. This is something Russell Wilson told us he liked last week. They used a little up-tempo without a huddle, get to the line, quick throw, and dropped. It was Will Dissly. Not sure if Rouge Hill got a hand in that or not, but he was right there.
And kind of that style right there. It wasn't just the quick passing game. Russell told us it was more, in his opinion, the tempo that they played with during that quick passing game. So something that he wanted to incorporate a lot more down the stretch here to finish the season.
We'll address Russell Wilson, his future. Pete Carroll, we talked about that a little later in the broadcast. Right now, focusing on a 3rd and 5. They've not had a target to DK Metcalf yet. Second possession. Wilson throws. Falling down is Metcalf with the catch. At 6'4" and big body.
Yeah, again, just some really good movement inside the pocket. Watch Russell Wilson right here. Scans, progresses, slides a little bit left, opens up that window, knowing exactly where DK Metcalf is going to be. Just really nice job working that pocket. You see just a little slide right there, opens up that throwing lane for him out to the left side for DK Metcalf.
Pickup of 8. There's Metcalf with Lockett, who made a spectacular catch earlier to set up the field goal. Fake to Penny. Throws wide open, and hauling it in is Tyler Lockett. Averaging 16 yards a catch. He's had a couple of big ones already.
Well, a really nice play design, because you think that Tyler Lockett is going to come down and make a block on the run play, right? Nope, I'm going to slide over here and then run a little bit of a wheel route. That's how he got so open. You saw on the play as he's making his progression how they turned the linebacker around. Garrett Waller was kind of pulled up on that run play fake and couldn't get back to cover the pass.
24-yard gain up to the Seattle 40. Wilson will give to Penny, and he will work his way to about the 44. Got crowded in there.
Just one of the reasons this defense has improved, and you watch them over the last month, you know, they have picked up their blitz percentage a little bit. They've got that real nice rotation, but the longer they've played in this different style this year with Lovie Smith, they've really started to understand their run fits, and that is going to be a big test today. We'll see how well they do this afternoon, slowing the Seattle run game down.
Wilson from the pocket, and on target, rolling is Dissly. Down to the 32 of Houston. Came back after the only incompletion that he maybe could have had, and hauls in that one for a gain of 25.
Just give him a little bit of look, right? Watch what he does to Kamuk Rouge Hill right there. Just a little look like it's going to be some run blocking, and then he's across the face and open right there in the intermediate range.
Russell Wilson and Carl Smith, the quarterback guru on the Seahawks sideline, he said that this was the first game since the surgery and since Russell's been back that he was able to complete his entire pregame process, the throws, the workouts, the moving around, and it's certainly showing how crisp he looks.
It was a pretty involved pregame workout too.
He was sweating in cooler temperatures here. See if we have a...
Before the game clock expired, timeout, Seattle. They're first. Please reset the game clock to 2 seconds.
Adrian Hill is our referee, so each team has used a timeout so far, and I mentioned just his thorough process, and he was telling us during the injury, this is obviously pregame here, that even when he couldn't work out with the team and he was over on the field, you know, mentally going through 2-minute drills, 99-yard drive, to stay in the process, as he called it.
Yeah, one of the big things there that you kind of overlook, just the ability to take the snap from under center. They weren't able to do that the first game back against Green Bay. It was all shotgun snaps at that time, so you could tell that he was coming back a little bit early, but he assured Coach Carroll and everybody in the organization that he was ready to go. But but the play didn't really follow that. He won't tell you that. He has a lot of, hey, you know, here's what happened in the Green Bay game. Hey, here's what happened when we played Arizona. But you can start to see that he's not thinking about that finger anymore, and his performance last week proves that. Middle
finger on his throwing hand hurt against the Rams. Penny, Rashad Penny shoving defenders away, and Penny has a Seahawk touchdown. Rashad Penny with his first touchdown of the season. From 32 yards away.
I think it's D. Eskridge right here. Watch him cross formation. He gets the key block. He just occupies the defender just enough, Terrence Mitchell right there, to allow Rashad Penny to get through, and then a really nice stiff arm with the last tackle attempt.
Eskridge, the rookie receiver, is only about 5'9", did just enough to give Penny room. Following up his best game in a couple of years from last week with a touchdown run here, and the extra point is good by Myers. As the first quarter is winding down, Seahawks, crisp passing got him down there, and Penny to the end zone. Seahawks have the lead. Russell Wilson reminding his offensive line, hey, nice work. Way to make it happen for Penny. 6th career rushing touchdown, 7th overall. But the last time he scored, Rashad Penny, was 2019. Daryl Johnston, Chris Myers, Jen Hale down on the field as we start the second quarter in Houston. 3-point game. Jason Myers, Traylon Smith back to receive if he has the chance. Again, the roof is open here. He's coming up on it and has it at the 10-yard line. On the move, Smith at the 25 is brought down.
Let's go back and take a look at that touchdown and see how this big run happened. You're going to see Terrence Mitchell in here. He's going to come and do force, right? So then you've got your other defenders. Desmond King has to come all the way from this side. What I wanted to see was the angle here. How was that fit down inside? And it's actually a nice fit from Justin Reed at the safety spot. It's just a really good stiff arm by Rashad Penny right there. So and in that, you hear people say you got to take your shot, right? Coming from the safety spot, take your shot, run through that ball carrier. He kind of came up, was a little bit hesitant right at the point of the tackle.
But showing that burst of speed, a 97-yard drive for the Seahawks as the pitch to Quirk. He's got some running room up across the 30-yard line. Jen Hale telling us that Davion Davis, who caught a pass earlier and limped off the field, headed to the locker room. So that thins a little of the game plan for Davis Mills and offensive coordinator Tim Kelly.
Yeah, I think that he was going to be one of those guys that maybe you didn't hear a lot about. You know, Texans fans, an opportunity for Davion Davis to show them what he can do as part of this offense. They were really excited to get him in the slot and have him work the inside of the field. So a big loss there early in the game.
Brevin Jordan with 3 catches already, the rookie tight end from Miami, including the touchdown. On 2nd and 4, Burkhead will get the first down.
That's the thing I like about Rex Burkhead. You know, just go hit it. You know, if there's dirty yards in there to be made, Rex Burkhead is the type of guy who's going to get those done for you. It's not real fancy, but he's just such a pro. He does everything really, really well. You can see just a little hesitation, finds the softest spot where that run can go and squeezes out some extra yards.
Signed for this season after 4 with the Patriots. And if you're thinking, well, what about the run game? Mark Ingram was traded to the Saints, back to the Saints. He's their leading rusher still, yardage-wise. Phillip Lindsay was cut loose and signed by Miami. He has the longest run by a Texan running back at 35 yards this season. What a tackle back at the 30-yard line. Ugo Amadi up from his safety spot.
And they've got to see this because this is probably the 4th time that they've done this during the course of the game today, and you're just going to wiggle in right here from the spot and you're going to hit it. And you've got to know that as a blocker. You know, you're sitting there as you're going to come out and pull around the outside. Lane Taylor has to know that so far they've been bringing some pressure off the edge and have his eyes a little bit further outside so he can adjust his path and pick up that defender.
That's a loss of 6. Royce Freeman comes in at running back, capable receiver. Again, David Johnson out after a COVID test. Time for Mills, and open at the 41. Can he get the first down? Brandon Cooks falling across at the 41 will check that spot. Looks like he's just a touch short Time for a quick game break with Carissa.
Thanks, Chris. Cowboys up 3-0 in Washington following a Randy Gregory interception. Dak Prescott links up with Amari Cooper. 2-point conversion after that was good. Cowboys lead this one 11-0.
Dallas leading in the NFC East, trying to keep Washington from gaining any ground and making that a more interesting race. So just short. Burkhead the back. And hit hard. Looked like he fell forward enough to get the first down, but we'll see how the officials see that. And they gave it to him. Most completions by a Texans rookie to start a game. 9 straight completions to open. He's already over 100 yards with a touchdown and protecting the ball. Has built up, as he said, a little more chemistry with some of the receivers over time. I think Nico Collins, one of those. We've seen it with Jordan, the tight end. There's a quick flip to Brandon Cooks, who's been their best player on offense the entire season. And he's close to another first down around the 43 of Seattle.
One of those other things about this whole process for Davis Mills is starting to understand what individual skill sets his players have around him. And being able to utilize them to their full strengths. And that's a process that you have to go through. And as you point out, Chris, building that chemistry. You know, how does he run this style of route? He's going to be, you know, Nico Collins is going to be a little bit different than Brandon Cooks. You know, kind of understanding the subtleties of all the different guys on the offense.
He has been named the starting quarterback the rest of the way for the Texans by head coach David Culley. They need 2 for the first down. There's plenty of blocking up front for Burkhead. To the 35, first down, Houston. This is a team that came in as the lowest scoring team in the NFL, averaging right around 14 points a game.
Yeah, and a nice job here. A pull in the trap here. I love these styles of play. You know, they call it the pin and pull. You pull your guard, pin him down. Nice block on the inside there to open up that lane for Rex Burkhead. And like we said, if there's yards to be made, he's going to hit it north and south. He's going to give you everything he can out of that play design and how it was blocked.
Royce Freeman comes in at running back as Burkhead takes a breather. Fake to him. Pressure coming, and they got him. Thrown down around the 45-yard line. The Seahawks with Al Woods kind of coming up through the middle, but Rashad Green probably getting credit, or at least partial credit, on that sack. He's already got 3.
Yeah, he's going to be the guy that flashes to Davis Mills. It's going to be Rashad Green, who he's going to see, and is going to create that kind of situation in the pocket where you know things are breaking down. Watch him win real quick here up front. That's where the original one comes from, and then everything just starts to collapse. As you pointed out, Al Woods with that big push coming in from the left side.
Rasheem Green now, 4th year from USC, making it difficult. First sack of the game for Seattle. Catch made by Burkhead, capable as a receiver, gets back inside the 35. Now they're going to have a 3rd down, need to get to the 25 for a first down.
Doing a nice job on this drive when they've had that negative play of making a good positive play right after. We saw it earlier in this drive when they had a nice pass that almost got the first down on a 2nd and long, and right there getting you into a 3rd and 8 situation. You know, not the easiest thing in the world here at the NFL level, but it gives you an opportunity, it gives you a chance.
See how the Seahawks defense plays this if they bring extra pressure. They do. He floats one for Cooks, who turns around and makes the catch. Here comes a flag. Cooks goes out of bounds after the reception. And a second flag comes in at midfield. Away from that play. Bobby Wagner trying to calm some people down on the Seahawks.
Yeah, Brandon Cooks had his hands on the back of DJ Reed, but did he shove him? Did he create separation, or did he just have his hands on DJ Reed as he adjusted to try and catch that ball?
Well, one flag where the catch was made, the other in the middle of the field around the 20-yard line, and it came in after the play. I don't know if players were shoving each other. They're discussing it.
There were 2 fouls on the play. After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense, number 85. That penalty is declined. during the play, pass interference, offense, number 13. That penalty is accepted and forced 10 yards from the previous spot. Replay, third down.
Brandon Cooks called for offensive pass interference.
Yeah, so there they are at the bottom of the screen, one-on-one situation, and you're going to see the little kind of lofted throw, and I don't think there's a lot there. I didn't see a ton of separation. Let's see, he's got his hands on his back. Does he give him the big shove? You can see a little bit right there, but I think it's more DJ Reed's inability to kind of track that ball. It's an odd throw. It was a really arced football on the back shoulder, and I think he lost track of the football more than Brandon Cooks kind of pushed to create separation.
So we see they're going to call it a little tighter in the secondary, at least by that. Backs him up on 3rd and 18. Rifled throw to Nico Collins down at the 30, so they won't get the first down, but they will be in position for a field goal try. Kaimi Fairbairn from UCLA in his 6th season will come out and try from 49 yards away.
We've had the Texans a couple of times this year, and one of the things I'm seeing here early in this game that I haven't seen the previous 2 times we had them is responding on these negative plays with something positive offensively, keeping the drive alive, giving yourself an opportunity for a field goal attempt.
Yeah, overcoming a major penalty. To tie this game, the kick is up there. It's out there. He's got it there, but a flag down at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting because now you're going to get a 4th and short. Do you take the points off the board and try and make a first down and continue this drive?
Wait, do I hear you saying maybe you should go?
I said, would you? I didn't say I would.
Well, you know, if
now I know what you're doing right now. You're taking those points off the board.
What's David Culley going to do? Davis Mills anxious. Missed the beginning of that call, but obviously it's against Seattle. And sorry for the audio from Adrian Hill not coming through. But I assume, as you pointed out, Darrell, that it's going to be a 5-yard assessment. And here comes the offense, and Davis Mills back
Personal
out.
foul, roughing the snapper, defense, number 99.
Don't even have to make the decision.
15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Okay, didn't see that at first glance. You're right. So that's a heavy on Al Woods, who is heavy.
Yeah, I thought I saw offsides on the outside. See, I thought I saw offsides right here. What they're actually calling is right here. He's lined up off the deep snapper and comes in and makes contact. Now, they put in a lot of rules here to protect the long snappers. And, you know, back in the day, Pete Carroll is not happy about that because I did not see him go to the head either. I think that's what Pete is saying. He was kind of off on the shoulder.
I mean, Al's 330 pounds plus, and it's 6'4". Try to be disruptive, but that's a major mark-off that gives the Texans a first down at the 16-yard line. Freeman the back for Mills. Room to roam, hits the tight end Anthony Auclair, who's more a blocking tight end. Short gain. Mike Pereira, our rules analyst, back in the Fox Network Center. Mike, how did you see that penalty?
Well, you know, the center is considered defenseless, so you can't go at him in the head or neck area. But to me, he really almost initiates this contact by playing in the defender. So I really am not strong on that call, but in fact, he is defenseless, so you have to lay off the head.
I guess we're all defenseless at times, right? When you think
Isn't
about
that true?
All right, Mike, thank you very much. After a short gain, the catch, Brandon Cooks to the goal line and in for a Texan touchdown. A rifle throw from Davis Mills to Brandon Cooks. Houston has the lead.
Nice job by Tim Kelly making an adjustment right here. We showed you the pressure coming from the edges. They've got a blitz on with Ryan Neal here, and Davis Mills gets the ball out quick. There's a big void right there that Brandon Cooks gets into because of that blitz.
Let's see, is that knee down before he crosses? No. Doesn't look like it. It was ruled a touchdown, but this one looks like they will bring it back after they review all scoring plays. They have it spotted inside the 1-yard line. Great effort from Cooks, but good defense, at least after the catch by the Seahawks, keeping him
7-14
out of the end zone. They're resetting the clock. An expedited review, meaning visual help right away so somebody doesn't have to challenge.
Yeah, I think
but that was automatically reviewed because of the scoring play. It was ruled that way.
Yeah, but instead of having to go to the review process to expedite that, and I think they've done a really nice job with that through the course of the year. They've got the average game time down to a little over 3 hours at 3 hours and 4 minutes.
Hand off Burkhead. Al Woods wouldn't let him get to the goal line. Max Sharping came in for Houston as an extra lineman. There looks like a flag. And there is a flag down. We were penalty free here, cruising along, and now we got them all over the place.
Well, this was a big issue for Houston.
Illegal formation offense. Number 9 covered number 74. 5-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
All right.
Yeah, early in the year, penalties were a big issue for the Houston Texans, and they've kind of gotten a little bit better at that, but it's been tough this afternoon.
Brian Monet, the injured player for Seattle. Brevin Jordan called. Brian Monet helped to the Seahawk bench. He was actually on the injury report during the week with a knee injury. And for the Seahawks, after that penalty, will back him up. I mean, from a called touchdown to a not quite in on the Cook's catch because of DJ Reed tackling him. Then the penalty. So it's first and goal from just beyond the 5. Mills to throw. And incomplete. Collins was the target. How about that formation penalty that was called on Brevin Jordan?
Yeah, and it's a pre-snap right. Here's Brevin Jordan. So number 74, Max Sharping, inside him is reported as eligible for a tight end. So Brevin Jordan cannot be on the line of scrimmage. He's got to be back off the line of scrimmage for it to be a legal formation. And that's just some of those pre-snap penalties that will drive head coach David Culley crazy, especially when you're first and goal inside the 1.
Mills hit his first 14 passes. That was his first incompletion a moment ago. Burkhead, and he gets down around the 2.5-3 yard line. It'll be third and goal. Woods and Jordan Brooks. You know, Jordan Brooks, most improved player on the Seattle defense, according to Ken Norton, number 56, who's from Houston, Texas, went to Stratford High School, at least in and around the area, in his second season, and second on the team in tackles. Part of that play. Now a third and goal. Mills, quick drop, quick throw. People falling down and incomplete. Nico Collins the target, but DJ Reed, who came up big when they got close around the goal line, was there on the coverage, and it's fourth down.
Yeah, I think that this is just inadvertent contact. You know, I don't think there's any intent here by DJ Reed to do anything. They're competitive out there. There's contact initiated by Nico Collins, and then he stumbles over DJ Reed, who he knocked down.
Yeah, but I thought I saw a grab of the jersey there, quick, no call. And it looks like they're going to go for it, not for the field goal. So here they're gambling. I don't know about this. Where
what? What?
Well, I hope.
Oh my goodness!
David Culley from the 3-yard line, and a timeout. Texans.
All right, now, Chris Myers, what would you do with the time I called? You oh no! You know, we're going to send the field goal team out there. Somebody just saved me.
You're hanging in. Look, you could tie this game. You're the underdog Texans trying to win your third game. Discussion with Tim Kelly, offensive coordinator. Now this from Geico.
Huh. Is that true? Geico's been saving folks money for 85 years?
Yep, that's right.
Wait, so if Geico's 85, that makes you...
Are you asking if I'm 85 years old?
I mean, sea turtles live to be 150, so... No, I was not.
Do I look 85?
What? No! You look young. You look young for however old you are.
Geico, saving people money for 85 years.
Oh, look at this. They brought out the kicker. Well, I think, you know, and fans at home are guessing along with us, Daryl, that you're playing a pretty good game against a team that came in here hot. You're trying to win your third game of the year. I think you take the sure points to create the tie from 21 yards away. Fairbairn nails that. Now, inside of 39 yards, he has now made 58 straight field goals. That's the longest active streak in the NFL. But the Seattle defense keeps him out of the end zone. Getting ready to kick off to the Seahawks in a 10-10 game, just over 6 minutes before the half. Davis Mills 14 out of 16 with a touchdown for Houston. Russell Wilson 6 out of 7. 90-plus drive, 97-yard drive actually, that produced the touchdown with the penny TD run. In the sun, DJ Dallas comes up for it and has it from the 9 of Seattle and staggers across the 25-yard line. Considered the league's most prestigious honor, the Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award recognizes players who've exhibited excellence in their field and passion to impact lives beyond the game. And the nominee for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. For the Texans, Justin Reed. The award winner will be announced Super Bowl week at the NFL Honors. That's February 10th, that Thursday. If you want to learn more about the nominees, and they're nominated by each team, visit NFL.com/Man of the Year. Seahawks, and there is Lockett and Reed. They'll be battling in the secondary.
Unnecessary roughness against the return team, number 98. That penalty is enforced half the distance to the goal from the dead ball spot. First down, Seattle.
The call on Alton Robinson. We've had a flurry of penalties here once we got into the second quarter. And that will back the Seahawks up to the 13-yard line. Russell Wilson, by the way, a winner overall, not only nominated by the Seahawks, NFL Walter Payton Man of the Year award winner. And here's a look at the penalty, 98, Robinson.
Hang with me right there. There we go.
Battling Neville Hewitt of the Texans. Alex Collins back in at running back. Fake to him. Wilson sideline throw. Separation there and a flag down. Trying to get it to DK Metcalf.
And some good pressure up the middle by Malik Collins. Russell Wilson takes a big hit, standing in the pocket to make this throw. Malik Collins is collapsing, but it comes from the outside. Actually, Jacob Martin is the one who gets the hit on Russell Wilson.
Pass interference, defense, number 25. Ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Desmond King, who has a couple of interceptions called. He was talking this week about, hey, this is the first time I'm playing Metcalf. I don't know what to expect. I just know he's big and tough to stay with.
Boy, they've been really inconsistent on the outside. We've some where they've let the guys play. You saw that in the end zone with Nico Collins and DJ Reed. I thought the Brandon Cooks one on the sideline was a little ticky-tack. I think that one there is a little ticky-tack. So a little bit of inconsistency on how they want to call this game in the pass interference department.
Collins has it and has a hole. Gets up across the 35-yard line. Time for another game break. Let's check in with Carissa.
Thank you, Chris. Browns up 10-0 on the Ravens. Baker Mayfield finds Austin Hooper for this 1-yard score, extending their lead to 17. But more importantly, Ravens' Lamar Jackson carted off with an ankle injury. Chris?
Wow, that will change things in a division where every team is alive in the AFC North for a playoff spot.
Can anybody figure out the Cleveland Browns this year?
Get the Ravens,
up and down.
Steelers, Bengals knocking on the door as Collins carries, and there's Brujay Hill. He's played all three linebacker spots this year. David Culley called him the team's MVP on defense.
He just has a great feel. Watch him find his way through. I mean, the guy had a ton of tackles last week. You know, you don't want him running free into your backfield. So you can see Dwayne Brown come down. He's got to solidify that, but he's got to have his eyes on 51. And then he has to help his guard next to him. But then he's got to be able to come off and get a shoulder on Kamu Brujay-Hill.
It was a team record, those 19 tackles. Former Eagle and Dolphin, Brujay-Hill. Wilson on the move. They'll keep and kind of fall forward for the first down across the 40-yard line. He does have a rushing touchdown this year, and he has run, of course, being out for a time. He missed that streak, career-long streak of 149 games played and started. That broken finger took care of that, so he missed 3. And he's been running still.
Kind of funny with Lovie Smith, though, what he told us, right? The older you get, the less you run.
But he said,
even though he's been smart with it,
right,
you know, he's not doing it as much.
Well, he's always been smart. That's why that streak of starts. But Lovie Smith also says it's really tough to simulate what Russell Wilson does for our team in practice, our defense. Here comes a flag. And it's on the offense.
False start, offense. Number 16, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
So this is only the third. We talked about possession time. Seahawks trying to change that. The call is on Lockett. This is only the third possession for Seattle in this half.
Yeah, some ball control. There's been some nice flow to this game, and you've got to recognize that now. Possessions become a premium in these situations where both teams are playing well, being able to control the football, take time off that clock. So you're not going to have your normal amount of possessions if this game continues to be played like this into the second half. Can you steal one? Can you do something special teams wise? Does somebody get a takeaway to shift that possession number?
Play clock down to 1 before they just do snap it open. And moving across midfield and going out of bounds is Freddie Swain. Each team 2 timeouts. Make that penny hard, number 19.
Yeah, Tavier Thomas has just got to know he's down inside number 37. He was chasing something to the backside pretty hard. But when you've got Russell Wilson at quarterback, you got to understand you're going to get a lot of boot action out to the sides when he gets on the perimeter.
Russell over 100 yards passing. Sprayed the ball around. Lockett with 3 catches. 4 other players have hauled in passes. Penny, the running back. He gets it and works his way down to about the 43 of the Texans.
Really happy for Rashad Penny and his start today. I mean, it's been a tough road back from that ACL injury back in December of 2019, and not having had the opportunity since then to kind of get into back-to-back games. It's great to see him follow up a nice performance last week with another nice start here today.
Pete Carroll was saying that was encouraging. We hadn't seen him carry the ball as much as he did, and then also kind of be healthy during the week in practice. Look strong, battling those injuries throughout his career, and even this season limited to 5 previous games. Calf injury in the opener. Here's Wilson, and open is Lockett. Can he get it there? No. There was a crease in the defense, or at least an opening, despite 3 Texans back in coverage. And Justin Reed and Lockett, we just talked about, was back there. Lockett was an important part of that players meeting before the 49er game night before, when Seattle last week played such an important game to kind of save their season, redirect their season, but trying to win back-to-back games for the first time this year. On 3rd and 5, time, looping it over the head of Tyler Lockett.
This is a really nice job by Tavier Thomas, because he's got Tyler Lockett one-on-one. Watch him battle. A little stutter there, gets on the back hip. Some hand checking down the field. Again, we've seen some really tight calls with pass interference, and you would think that one, it's a nice little sell job by Tyler Lockett at the end. They've got me confused, Chris. I don't know what offensive pass interference is today, or defensive pass interference is today.
Michael Dixon leads the NFL with 32 punts that have been down inside the 20, already matching last year's total. And again, we said leading, drops that inside once again. That's as good as it gets. We're seeing some really terrific punting today, and kick team coverage. Penny Hart got down there with the Texans in a hole. Underdog Houston hanging in there with the Seahawks at 10-all. The Rise at halftime coming up with Kurt, Terry Howie, and Michael Strahan back from space. I think you see those guys, when you work with Bradshaw that much, you'll do anything to get away and create space. The guy gets in a rocket ship and goes up. Should be a lot of fun. They'll have all the updated highlights and scores. Some wild games going on. Quirk had the back after that 41-yard punt without any kind of a return. And each team, well, Seattle has 2 timeouts. The Texans have 1. See how they play this. Pete says, hey, let's pin them in there and get something out of this. Houston will kick off to start the second half. Seahawks to receive. When does he use the timeout? One more snap.
Yeah, right after this snap.
Okay.
Yeah. Davis Mills needs to take this down as far as he possibly can. It's at 11 right now. Take it all the way down into the
wanted more off the clock. Look at this play. Oh, slipping away. Burkhardt was almost as safety as Al Woods. Got in there. And here comes the timeout, as you just mentioned, Darryl. Al Woods with a big defensive play. Burkhardt avoiding a safety. Timeout used. It'll be a 3rd down for the Texans.
Yeah, Rex Burkhead right now is thinking, don't give me the ball, Davis. You can hold on to it. I mean, Al Woods is like, I mean, you've got it. You're running right at him. You just see big 99 there, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get crushed on this one.
Burkhead is a receiver now. Splits out. Now he's coming back in the backfield. It's 3rd and 9. Seahawks had the safety last week against the Niners. In his own end zone and running around. Mills will keep. And short of the first down, run out of bounds. So he was just short of the 10-yard of Carlos Dunlap, who only played 7 snaps last week, but had a sack, a safety, a batted pass.
And we talk about decisions, right? Davis Mills in that situation, don't run out of bounds. Don't make Pete Carroll call that other timeout. You know, now he's got the middle of the field open with a timeout on this drive. So I like the decision not to throw it away, because you're going to have it incomplete and the clock is going to stop. But in that situation, as you're running over there, just slide and stay in bounds and force Seattle to burn that last timeout.
Freddie Swain is back at midfield. These guys are good dropping it inside the 20. Let's see when they need a really lengthy boot. And this one, fair catch called for right around the 45, where Seattle will take over on offense. Exactly 1 minute in a 10-10 game remaining before the half. Those are the numbers on the quarterbacks, the rookie and the veteran with 8 Pro Bowl appearances, Russell Wilson. So they've thrown it 10 times, Seattle. They've run it 12. And have a timeout from their own 45-yard line. DJ Dallas is the running back. Wilson airing it out deep for Lockett. Lockett has it, and that's a Seahawk touchdown. They've been swimming upstream the entire game, and they get a big play to take the lead. "55-yard touchdown toss from Russell Wilson to Tyler Lockett."
There's not a whole lot. There's a little bit of wiggle from Tyler Lockett, but not a double move. Watch, he gets on top of Terrence Mitchell. He's sitting on something. I don't know what he's sitting on. And Tyler Lockett just runs right past it.
His 5th touchdown catch of this season. He doesn't just speak loudly, he plays loudly, but the extra point is not good. That's been an issue around the league more and more ever since, even if you go back, Pete's like, what the heck happened here? Ever since they moved that back. Everything else, take a look, Darryl. Snap and hold, that's just a Myers miss.
Yeah, snap hold looks fine. I mean, sometimes you're on that left hash because you're pushing it a little bit right. Kickers are going to choose what hash they want to be on. So that's obviously, the preference right there for Jason Myers.
What a connection, though, between two guys who've been doing it a while.
Yeah, and just, Jonathan Grenard, 52, is going to go inside right there on the pressure, on the spin move. Well, now guess what you've done? You've allowed Russell Wilson to get outside, and able to hold the safety, do a nice job in keeping Justin Reed kind of occupied middle of the field to the right side of the field. You can see him getting there late.
And Lockett, back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. He's closing in on another one. Just a few yards away, receiving yards. A special moment. And he's bringing it out. Traylon Smith. And still trying to get away. Make that Thomas after Smith with the pitch. Up across the 40-yard line. 41 seconds. Texans will have a timeout. And big play for the Seahawks, who are still mathematically alive in the playoff picture. As Pete Carroll said, we're not done yet. We're not dead yet. But the Texans hanging in there for a team only with 2 wins coming into the game.
Yeah, and that's an impressive thing for Davis Mills to come out to get that opportunity. And this is not an audition to see who Davis Mills is down the stretch. Coach Culley came out and said he gives us the best opportunity to win finishing out the season. So the job is his for the remainder of the year, barring an injury.
See how he does in the 2-minute drill. That was almost intercepted. Jordan Brooks was right there.
You know, I like the aggressive call on the kickoff return, you know, with a little bit of a gadget there. Jordan Brooks, just a great job making a play on that football. Almost makes a great interception. But, you know, what can Houston do here? Can they get into field goal range in the next 37 seconds?
Brooks, by the way, the leading tackler in the game for Seattle with 7 tackles so far. Time. Open at the 40. Brandon Cooks, and it's a first down. They've got that 1 timeout. The clock's running here. 5th catch of the game for Brandon Cooks, but they're going to need a little more to get in a more reasonable area to try and kick a field goal.
Davis Mills has had a nice first half, and this is some of those areas that you start to see, you know, what the potential is. You know, the situational components of the game. You get into the red zone. Are you getting touchdowns instead of settling for field goals? The 2-minute drill situation. You know, that one where he went out of bounds, that's something that Coach Kelly's going to have the opportunity. Tim Kelly's going to have the opportunity to coach him up on. But I've been really impressed with him here in the first half. You can see the growth from when we saw him earlier this season.
Targeted by Nick Caserio in the front office. Told him in the second round, we're taking you in the third if you're there. Blitz is on. Mills batted away. He had Brevin Jordan open but couldn't get the ball there because Ugo Amadi got in the way.
You see him, he's going to come up and he's actually going to, you know, have a little bit of a collision there with Brevin Jordan, and then knows he's not going to get to the quarterback, so just elevates right in the throwing lane to get that deflection.
Still a timeout from the 40 of Seattle. Now 3rd and 10. Mills has time. Sideline out of bounds, incomplete. There is a flag down. Looks like it's against, it may be against Houston, but we'll see. If it is, it'll be a hold on the Texans. That's the early indication. So does Pete just decline this? Make it 4th.
Holding offense. Number 71. 10-yard penalty. Replay. 3rd down.
All right. At the moment, accepting it. So Titus Howard.
I thought there was a little bit more probably inside when you looked at what was happening at the guard position.
We only have
with Lane Taylor.
So I'm sorry, Darryl. We only have 10 seconds here. There is the timeout. So a big play, a timeout. You get a field goal try. There's a throw. And timeout called for in a crowd. Did he hang on and catch that? Burkhead did and was alert enough to use the timeout, but you're probably looking at a 59.
Timeout. Houston, their 3rd and final of the half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
In the range of a 60-yard field goal. It was ruled a catch.
He's got DJ Reed playing defense for Seattle, and he's got Chris Conley playing defense against him as a teammate.
Quick to call timeout, so they are going to try, it would appear, rather than a Hail Mary. 61-yard field goal. Kaimi Fairbairn has made a 55-yarder in his career. That's his career long, his season long, a 53-yard field goal.
But the biggest thing is you've got DK Metcalf back in the end zone. So if this thing comes up short, they better make sure these offensive linemen know who's coming their way with the football in their hand.
A freight train.
And a very fast freight train.
61 yards away. The kick up there, out there, and just got it. That deserves a wow.
Wow.
Right on cue. his career long. 61 yards.
That's a big lift for the Houston Texans going in at halftime.
Watched it.
Really? How'd he do that?
Watched it go by like the jet you missed. You were late to the gate. It flew right over. What a kick. What a first half. And these are your first half stats brought to you by Old Navy. Touchdown toss right before the half was a big one by Russell Wilson, but then Mills gets him in range for a field goal, and we got a good one. After the break, Verizon halftime coming your way. Today's game flow brought to you by Progressive. First half stats, a couple of records for the Texans. Davis Mills, the longest field goal ever by anybody in this stadium, a Texan record of 61 yards by Fairbairn, and Lockett and Wilson lock it up for a big touchdown. That's how Seattle has the lead at 16-13. Getting ready to receive the second half kick as DJ Dallas is ready to roll. He's coming up on it at the 4 of Seattle. Gets a block, and flag comes in as he stopped at the 29-yard line. We have not had a turnover in this game. 7 penalties accepted total.
During the return, holding against the return team, number 57. That penalty is enforced half the distance to the goal from the spot of the foul. First down, Seattle.
Cody Barton called for the infraction. That'll back up the Seahawks, but coming off a big game, getting a little bit of a tougher test than maybe most of us thought from the hometown Texans. But Seahawks still in the playoff picture, want to put on a run and can't afford another stumble and keep that string of 9 consecutive winning seasons intact, longest current streak in the NFL.
Yeah, and they had an opportunity to kind of really build some momentum here for the second half with that touchdown, the big touchdown play to Tyler Lockett. But I was really impressed with the Houston Texans in that 2-minute situation, being able to steal 3 points back as they went into halftime. So it's been a much more entertaining game, a much closer game than we thought it would be, and a lot of that has to do with the play of Davis Mills in the first half.
And for the Seahawks now, starting at their own 17. I know they haven't had, they made the most of their possessions. Pete Carroll wanted to get about 30 runs out of this, but they have only a dozen attempts so far. Both quarterbacks have been very accurate.
They're averaging over 10 yards per play in that first half.
It's Rashad Penny. Had a good day near another first down. Let's check in with Jen.
Chris, get ready to see more Rashad Penny this half. You know, Pete Carroll came in today planning to rotate him and Alex Collins, but Rashad Penny just hasn't given him that option. He's playing so well. Pete told me at halftime he also loves the way he's run blocking, not just the rushing yards. Darrell may have been entertained by the Texans' 3 points at the end of that first half. Pete Carroll was frustrated. He says the run game is where they can make up some ground, so he is going to hit the run hard this half, guys.
And Penny remains in, Jen. Yeah, described as Rashad Penny's the burst of speed runner, pick and choose runner is Alex Collins. There's Penny trying to pick and choose and show some speed to get the first down or enough to move the chains. And Rashad Penny has only had 8 carries so far in the game. That big 32-yard touchdown run was a work of art.
Yeah, 8 carries, but he's still averaging, you know, a good clip right now at over 8 yards per. And there was the big touchdown run. We saw a great stiff arm right there on Justin Reed. So they were explosive in the first half. Didn't have a lot of opportunity, but a 55-yard touchdown catch by Tyler Lockett, a 32-yard touchdown run by Rashad Penny.
Russell Wilson's throw for Lockett's incomplete. Coverage is pretty good. Penny 9 carries. Only 3 for Collins so far, and there is Rashad Penny catching his breath.
And the mystery kind of continues, too. Here we are, we're talking about all these guys, but DK Metcalf, right? 1 catch for 8 yards in the first half. So just haven't been able to find a way to get DK Metcalf involved in the game the last few weeks.
And Lonnie Johnson is on him. The angular defensive back. They wanted somebody, a big body, to be with Metcalf, who can get frustrated if he does not get the football. Go the other way and dropped. That was Swain.
Opportunity right here for the Texans defense to come out with a big stop. Here's that matchup you were talking about, Chris. You know, up to the top of the screen, it's going to be DK Metcalf against Lonnie Johnson, that bigger body guy.
6'2" on 6'4". Johnson wearing number 1, an extra DB. Russell looks that way and incomplete. Well, that was one thing Shane Waldron, the offensive coordinator, said. We want to work the ball around and get guys involved, but we just can't force it. And I know sometimes Metcalf thinks he's open, or we're not designing plays for him, but we are. They're just not necessarily there for Russell to throw him the ball. And it looks like Camus, and it is Camus Grugier-Hill, one of the top defense. Camus Grugier-Hill, called the MVP of the defense by head coach David Culley, and a serious injury.
Yeah, franchise record 19 tackles last week, 10 of them solo, and this is non-contact, and those are the scariest ones. And you can see his teammates, and there's Davis Mills, the last one to kind of get to him before he heads off. When the cart comes out, it's not good. When it's non-contact, it's not good. And I hope I'm wrong on this, but that looked like possibly patella tendon, which is a really, really tough injury to come back from.
Michael Dixon from the 20. Desmond King at the 23 of Houston, and brought down right away. Special teams play excellent. Penny Hart making that special teams play.
Yeah, you can see it's just in coverage, and he's in space, and he plants to stop, and then just grabs right at the knee, and it's on the front. So thoughts and prayers to Camus Grugier-Hill, because he's done everything you could ask a guy to do for the Houston Texans. He's a guy with a special teams background, worked his way into the starting lineup. We talked about the franchise record. I mean, as you're turning a program around, you know, that's the type of guy that head coach David Culley needs. It's the type of guy defensive coordinator Lovie Smith needs. So that's just a huge loss for this Texans team.
48-yard punt. Davis Mills back running the offense. Burkhead, his 10th carry of the game, leading rusher for the Texans, again without David Johnson. Last-minute COVID test. Royce Freeman, the other active back.
And you wonder if they'll be able to get to that point where they've had success committing to the run game. You know, their 2 wins this year. Jacksonville, 41 carries for 160. Now that's with Tyrod in there and the ability that he brings with scrambles and quarterback runs. But at Tennessee, not a lot of production. 38 carries, 83 yards. And that was mainly Rex Burkhardt and David Johnson.
And a good run by Burkhardt. Got right at the 35 before being thrown back. We'll have to check the spot. They're going to give him credit for the first down. Jen?
Chris, David Culley was so excited at halftime with Davis Mills' decision-making. That was the big thing that Culley was looking for, and he said there's only one throw, one thing he would take back from that first half. It's what they've been seeing in practice and in the meetings, and he's thrilled it's translating to the field. Quick injury update. Davis is out with an ankle injury, and for the Seahawks defense, Brian Monet is out with a knee, Chris.
All right, that's Davion Davis, who had 1 catch early. Pressure on the screen, though. Freeman, and spins for a first down. A big first down, and well played by Mills and the Texan offense.
Yeah, you want to invite the pass rush to have a screen, but again, here comes that blitz off the edge, right? So we've got pressure in the face. Nope, it was not 26. My apologies. It comes off the edge from the defensive end, but, you know, not as fast. You don't want it that fast. You've got Alton Robinson coming right on top of the quarterback. But good poise by Davis Mills to hang in there and get that thrown.
Freeman remains the back after a gain of 11. That's the tight end, Brevin Jordan, who's in the backfield with Mills. He's going to flip to Philip Dorsett from his receiver spot. Former Colt and Patriot. a short game. You know, the Texans, since scoring 37 points in the opener, they beat the Jags, the opener here in Houston, they have yet to score more than 22 points in a game. They won that opener, lost 8 straight, got their second win mid to late November at Tennessee. That upset, they had 5 takeaways in that game, and they didn't turn the ball over. And since getting to 2-8, they have lost to the Jets and Indianapolis. And that's how they are at 2-10, but trailing by 3 here in the third. After no gain, smothered in the backfield is Freeman. Never had a chance. Benson Mayoa and Al Woods. It seems like Al Woods is involved in everything that happens on the field.
I mean, my goodness. I mean, 99 is just, he's a game wrecker inside right now. I mean, this is, I mean, if you try to get across his face, he backdoors you like he did right there against Justin McCray. If you're trying to get in front of him and kind of push him, he's so big and strong. I've seen him knock the offensive lineman back. I mean, he's controlling guard to guard.
Now third down after a loss of 3. 4-man rush. Screen, they try and set up, but they were ready this time. Seattle give Bobby Wagner credit for the tackle. Ken Norton called him a superhero, top defender. And when it comes to Wagner, hold the Mayo.
Yeah.
No matter what. Now, have you heard the controversy? He said he didn't like it. Some people got really upset about it. It became a deal, an ordeal. But he makes plays and continues to make plays. Leads the team in tackles. And leads this Seahawk defense to the 6th best in terms of giving up points in the NFL. Punting unit on for Houston. Johnston booms it away. Swain lets it roll wisely. And it'll be a touchback. Russell Wilson, 8 out of 14, over 160 yards and a touchdown. And Seahawks on offense up next, leading by 3.
This holiday, Verizon has the deal that gets...
It's a little early, but that's why they left the roof open.
He's got a lot of work to do coming up. He just sneaking away just for the day, you think? Can he get back and forth to the North Pole?
Every Sunday he stops for the NFL. There'll be a game on Christmas Day. You'll see it on Fox. Browns and Packers. Quick toss to Metcalf. It's up to the 28-yard line after that 58-yard punt. And another thing you can see on Fox Wednesday is the moment you've been waiting for.
I know you got your DVR going.
It's finally here. I even put a mask on to watch this. It's they're all unmasked. The Masked Singer finale, biggest battle of the season. Who's going to win it all? Tune in to the Masked Singer season finale Wednesday on Fox. On 2nd down 3. Penny in the back. He's been the lead rusher with 9 carries, 76 yards and a touchdown for Seattle. And that's Gerald Everett. We hadn't called his name today. Former Ram who has had a really good season, but last week he had 2 fumbles and a drop pass, and prior to that he hadn't fumbled or dropped a pass all year long.
Yeah, and good to give him an opportunity to kind of put that game behind him with a carry right there. Kind of that little underneath handoff on the tight end jet sweep style play.
Yeah, because Will Dissly, his backup, has had a catch. D. Eskridge, the rookie, who had a number of injuries and has finally come on. I know that they want to use him a little bit more. Rookie from Western Michigan. He has not been targeted today, but another go-to guy that Russell Wilson has to work with. After a pickup of 13, fake to Penny. Play action and action there. Open at midfield for a first down. And getting knocked down at the 47 is Will Dissly.
And they're trying to get the ball to DK Metcalf. They're trying to create it. You saw the little quick screen earlier on. This is another play designed to go to DK Metcalf too. It's kind of those over routes. So he's going to be at the top of the screen here, and he's going to run all the way across. But the guy who disrupts it is right here. The safety does a nice job from the middle of the field. Seeing that, watch him come up. He takes that away. So Russell Wilson's got to scramble and find another receiver.
That's Lockett in motion. Penny, and the Texans are ready for him right at the 49. Malik Collins threw him down. Remember when Rashad Penny was drafted as a first rounder, he had productive college numbers, but it was a bit of a surprise around the league.
But sometimes it's how it fits into your offense, how it fits into your defense. These guys spend a lot of time putting those draft boards together, and every offense, every defense has got their subtle differences. So sometimes when people question it, it's just a lot of those times that's a better fit for our offense and what we do.
He's 27th overall. The blitz picked up. Russell Wilson open as Metcalf. He's going to push people around and head up the sideline. It's fun to watch when he gets loose.
So he's 6'4", 235. We know how fast he is in straight line speed, but I want you to watch the start and stop here. Watch him put his foot in the ground and get out to the other direction. That's impressive for a guy that size.
And again, working against Lonnie Johnson, and Lovie Smith wanted number 1 Johnson to be out there for that purpose. Got Desmond King at 5'10" at one corner, Tavier Thomas 5'10" the other corner, and Mitchell about that size as well. Pick up a 22 yards from the 26-yard line of Houston. Seahawks on the move. It's an inside handoff to Freddie Swain, and he's inside the 25 before he gets knocked down. Much has been made about Shane Waldron, the offensive coordinator, came over from the Rams, and I talked to him, Daryl. He talked about blending. He said Russell Wilson has just so much inventory. It's blending into what he likes to do. And then Pete Carroll was saying, I interviewed a few different guys, and I liked his background. I was a big fan of Mike Shanahan. So through the Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay train of coaches, the balance, you think throw a lot with those guys, but the run game, the steady part of the run game, we hope Waldron can bring that eventually when we're all healthy.
The good thing about that is the creativity he's showing, getting the tight ends and the wide receivers involved in that run game.
Yeah. Looked like the play clock was going to run out. I think they beat it with a timeout.
There was no play before the snap. Timeout, Seattle. They're first. This will be a 30-second timeout.
All right, so your screen, we won't leave the field, but now this from Pepsi and Uber Eats.
When the most stressful part of your day is during the 3 hours your team plays, you've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar.
Tonight, I'll be eating a petite filet with goat cheese fritters. Thanks. Captain Fear, what are you so afraid of? Spiders? Public speaking? Commitment?
Facing a 2nd down 7. Protecting a 3-point lead. What will the offensive coordinator Shane Waldron call here? Got a lot of guys he can work with. Penny the back. See Metcalf, bottom of your screen. I think I heard red alert. Fake. Wilson is on the move. Here's a flag down and into the end zone and a touchdown to DK Metcalf. We'll check the flag. There are actually 2. That's probably going to come back. A hold on Seattle. Wipes out a 23-yard TD.
Holding offense. Number 66. 10-yard penalty. Replay. 2nd down.
That's Gabe Jackson. Daryl, with your eye and your playing days as a fullback blocking, what do you see?
Yeah, that's definitely a hold. Jonathan Bernard is upfield. Yeah, and you're coming in from the side.
Pushes him back to the 33. Wipes out a big play. On 2nd 17. Pressure coming on Wilson. He gets away and floats one for the end zone. Double covered back there in the sunshine for Metcalf, but incomplete. See, Lonnie Johnson back there and Eric Murray. You figure if he got it up there high, that Metcalf could outleap people.
Yeah, definitely trying to get the ball to DK Metcalf here to start the second half. A lot of targets going his way early on. And again, those jump ball situations, if he can just maintain his concentration, you can see the contact there. He gets one hand on it.
Metcalf with 3 catches today. DJ Dallas inside the 20, almost sprung loose for a first down and maybe a touchdown. They're pointing as if there comes the field goal unit. Thought that maybe Pete Carroll, Russell Wilson would decide that point. Yeah, that point after Jason Myers. No relation. I'm going to make sure you know that now since he missed the extra point. but he's got a chance here at a 38-yard field goal he made from 38 earlier in the game on 4th and 4.
If it's good, are you going to claim him?
Oh, yes, it's Jason Myers is going to drill this through. What a terrific last name. And the Seahawks drive stalls. Had that touchdown called back on a penalty, but they add to their lead here in Houston. Here in Houston, that's how Daryl Johnston starts the day.
That's Captain Bull.
Okay, your nickname was Moose. It's in the mix. It's in the family. That drive 60 yards, almost 5 minutes chewed up before the Myers field goal. Now kicking off for Seattle with a 19-13 advantage. Expected to come in here and take care of business. Texans hanging with him. Traylon Smith watches it sail over out to the 25. To help people affected by the southern and Midwest tornadoes, you can text tornadoes to 9099 to give $10 to the American Red Cross Southern and Midwest Tornado Relief. Again, that's 9099, and give what you can to help out. They certainly need it, and our thoughts are with all the family and friends and those who lost homes and lives.
It's unbelievable the devastation that they've been showing. I mean, structure's just completely gone.
Yep. Thinking about you. Mills' pass is incomplete. Nico Collins, one of the guys he said he felt he had chemistry with because a couple of rookies who have worked together. Yeah, Seahawk defense adjusted a little bit. He set that record for a Texan rookie with his completions to start the game.
Similar to last week, right? We talked to Kenny Norton about that. You make adjustments all throughout the course of the game, but at halftime, to come out and shut out San Francisco in the second half, and he said it wasn't really adjustment, it was kind of a reset. We just weren't playing well in that first half.
There's a quick pass to Brandon Cooks. Showing off some of that speed, eventually yanked out of bounds. He got up across the 43-yard line.
This is really good execution, and it's one of the words that Coach Coley always talks about. We've got to coach better. We've got to execute better. Watch the blocks in front of Brandon Cooks right here. Anthony Auclair first gets him there. Then Chris Conley behind that. Actually, Farrell Brown, the first block. Nice job on the outside. Could have got a hold right there. Anthony Brown was lucky.
Pickoff of 19, clearly the most productive Texans skill player this season, and again dumps it off to Burkhead, who has some blockers, and Burkhead makes a nice move, has another first down at the 45 of Seattle.
It's such a great job by Rex Burkhead, because as he's breaking to the middle of the field, it looks like he's going to try to get all the way across the field, but watch, he understands where he's at in this point in his career. Watch what he does. I'm going to break inside right here. Okay, I'm going to the other sideline. No, I can't outrun these guys. Let me just get north and south.
Coming in, he'd only played in 11 games. He missed the reunion game against the Patriots in Week 5 with a hip injury. But one of the steady hands that Nick Caserio brought in for David Culler. Picked up 10 there. Freeman is the back. Seahawks threaten blitz, and they bring it. And thrown early, almost connecting with Collins. But Mills had to get rid of it or risk a sack. Ugo Amadi came in on the safety blitz.
Some more growth from Davis Mills right here. You're going to have to see disguises and blitzes and different things like that. He kind of recognizes the pressure coming in from the left side, holds it, changes the play, gets the protection set, and then takes the deeper shot down the field. So some nice job at the line of scrimmage right there by Davis Mills.
Dorsett on the left side batted away as Mills, as L.J. Collier got his arms up and is from TCU, Texas turf in the area. I want to make sure we didn't miss his big defensive play.
Coming in from the right side, working against Lane Taylor, pushing, and then just get that hand up. You know you're not going to get to the quarterback, but you can still make that deflection, which is just as good sometimes.
On 3rd and 10, Freeman and Burkhead in the backfield. Blitzes on him. Mills is out of the pocket, but look out from behind. Brought down with a sack. Darrell Taylor. And a flag down inside the 40. Sack specialist Taylor closed in fast, but we may have a defensive penalty.
It should be defensive holding.
Holding, defense, number 23. That 5-yard penalty will be forced to the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Wow, wipes out a big play. Seahawks have had a few of those. They're calling it on Sidney Jones.
Yeah, it's an adjustment by Brandon Cooks. He sees Davis Mills in trouble, and he breaks back to the outside. You can see the hold right there. Now, that's why Davis Mills had to hold that ball. He couldn't throw it because Sidney Jones had grabbed a hold of him and wouldn't let him go.
Fresh set of downs from the 41. Texans on the move, trailing by 6. Freeman takes the pitch. Brought down maybe after a yard gain. Jordan Brooks again making the play. We've not had a turnover in this game, and officially only 1 sack. The other one was taken away after the penalty, and that 1 sack belongs to the Seahawks. Just over 2 minutes to go before the end of the 3rd quarter. At age 70, Pete Carroll, oldest head coach currently in the NFL. This is incomplete. Dorsett the target. Good pressure. Seattle defense. Texans have only been averaging about 2 yards a carry on the ground, and yet they're 1 score away from taking the lead.
They've done a nice job when they've had not really the negative play, but maybe a no gain, where they've put themselves in a position where they've kind of fallen behind the chains a little bit of making a big positive play on that next snap. They really haven't done that there. They've had a couple of opportunities. There's another one here at 3rd and 10, but they had the similar one at 2nd and 10.
He has to float it early, tangled up. Brandon Cooks could not get downfield, and no flags. Sidney Jones, who was called a moment ago, won this one.
Yep, and this is just the defensive player has a right to be in that position just as well. So I like that no call right there by the officials, and we've gone back and forth and with the play on the outside with the wide receivers and the DBs, but I do like that call.
All right, Darrell, I'm not saying they should go for it here, but they are going to bring out Fairbairn, who kicked the record 61, his career best, and a Houston Texan and stadium record 61-yarder before the half. This is 59 yards to get to within 3. You're risking field position. If you miss, could be a fake, but now this will change things.
Ball start, offense, number 46. 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
They're calling that on the snapper, John Weeks. So I would think.
Well, you're trying to do, some shenanigans there and grab 5 yards. Yeah, so you've got your long snapper's got a little bit of flinch, and then you did the same thing with Farrell Brown off the wing. He goes out in motion, so as the PAT field goal block team sees that, you're hoping that they're going to flinch and get into that neutral zone.
Cameron Johnston, who's been averaging almost more than 6 punts a game. Pretty swing back, and he's good. This is his 4th today. Good. It's like Dixon and dropping it inside the 20. So there's a kind of flutter to it, but he's on it. Swain puts a nice little move on it. Gets up across the 20-yard line. Seahawks 19-13 advantage coming up on offense. You're watching the NFL on Fox from Houston, Texas. after a 35-yard punt, 9-yard return. Seahawks, 1:40 to go in the third at the 20-yard line on first down. They started the season 2-2. Then they lost 6 of 7, a period that started with the Russell Wilson finger injury October 7th against the Rams. They had a couple of 3-game losing skids. He came back against Green Bay. It's taken him a while, and now close to being 100%. Penny will get almost 4 yards. The current longest win streak active among any team is the Seahawks. 9 consecutive winning seasons. See who's next on the list, but that's Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson, the core of that. And they're going to have to win out to keep it going and keep any faint playoff conversation alive in Seattle.
Oh, easy. Hey, let's go Warriors, that's Henderson.
They have the Rams next Sunday in L.A. They're 2-2 in the division. And Arizona is on top of a little floater that's tipped and almost intercepted. He was trying to get to D. Eskridge, but deflected by Jonathan Grenard.
Boy, what tremendous athleticism off the edge by Jonathan Grenard. I mean, the ability to go up and tip the ball right here. Look at that. And now he's going to land and spin around and almost, with his athletic ability, make the interception.
A guy with 8 sacks, but you saw him earlier against the run, and here an acrobatic effort. Neville Hewitt, by the way, had come in for Camu Grugier-Hill after his knee injury when he left, carted off. 3rd and 7. Handled by Russell Wilson, who's on the move. Can he find anybody? Sideline throw off the hands of Metcalf, but it's 4th down as Russell Wilson went down. Monty Johnson on the coverage, and let's get another game break with Carissa.
Thank you, Chris. Falcons up 20-14. Matt Ryan hands it off to Hayden Hurst for this 3-yard score. 2-point conversion, no good. Falcons lead by 12.
Thanks, Carissa. Punting unit out for Seattle, Michael Dixon. Only his 3rd punt of the game. In his 4th year from Texas. Drives it out of there. Desmond King, fair catch called for. Saw Rex Burkhead being checked for an injury going to the locker room. That will affect this Texan offense. The only other healthy running back, Royce Freeman.
Bend those knees.
Christmas closer than you think after that 42-yard punt. Texans take over at their own 29-yard line, trailing by 6. This is how it's gone for the rookie. This one of the more competitive games going on right now in and around the NFL. With a 6-point difference.
Over.
Freeman in there because Burkhead went to the locker room in pain. Royce Freeman the carry with some good blocks up front. Check in with Jen on that injury.
Yeah, it's a bit of a triage unit down here on the Texans sideline, Chris. First of all, I know everybody wants to know about Camu Grugier-Hill. We are expecting an update. They're still running tests at the moment, but I'm told we should know something before the game is over. Justin Reed is being evaluated for a concussion. He's in the locker room, as is, as you mentioned, Rex Burkhardt. He has a groin injury, and he is questionable to return, Chris.
All right, thank you for the update. So it's up to Freeman. And can he get the first down? He does. And that'll bring an end to the 3rd quarter. Hometown Texans hanging with the visiting Seahawks. It's a 6-point difference as we go to the 4th with Jen Hale, Daryl Johnston, Chris Myers, our entire crew here with a close eye on Energy Stadium in Houston, Texas in week 14. Seahawks trying to get their 5th win of the year. Houston trying to get its 3rd. Russell Wilson and the offensive staff going over things. Davis Mills, the rookie, in his last start in the 4th quarter, he was 18 of 23, 220 yards against the Rams. It was an impressive rally that fell way short. First down here from their own 39-yard line. And down to Royce Freeman. Rex Burkhead, Jen Hale updated. He's out for the remainder of the game. Alert, alert, alert. There is Freeman, who's got room to run. Bounces off a defender, goes down at the 45-yard line.
One of the things that Coach Culley talked to us about during the course of the week was giving Royce Freeman some extended snaps during the game today. So you wonder if there was an inkling of what happened to David Johnson, what potentially could happen to David Johnson.
And now they're saying Carlos Dunlap is the injured player. Let's see if they can try and get the veteran up. In his 12th season, 89 career sacks, and for the limited time he was in on a 49er game, he made a difference.
You ain't kidding. I mean, 7 plays, and 2 of them are probably the biggest plays of the game. A safety on Jimmy Garoppolo, and then the deflection on 4th down to seal the game.
So Grugier Hill is ruled out officially the remainder of the game. That knee injury, still a possibility of Burkhead, but it would be maybe in an emergency situation as Dunlap goes over to the Seattle bench.
Even. Diamond. Hey, we're good. 5-4.
Second down, 5, quick toss. And getting the first down is Chris Conley. Almost slipped that to the 45 of Seattle.
He's a little bit upset with himself because he's about ready to split this. You're going to see him step back right here. And a nice job by Sidney Jones kind of hitting it, but boy, that was close for Chris Conley, just going straight down the field.
Hey, 5-4.
And Freeman knocked down right away. Bobby Wagner making the play.
Yeah, Kerry Hyder back there too, number 51. And Kerry Hyder has bounced around to a number of different teams, and every team he is on, he is disruptive from that defensive line position. Seen it in Minnesota, seen it in Detroit, seen it in Dallas.
And Wagner, we talked about Grugier Hill and his 19 tackles. Wagner had a game, a 20 tackle game against the Titans earlier this year. Still doing it, still going strong. Pressure, and he can't get away. And that's a sack. Darrell Taylor, who had one wiped out by a penalty, this time gets his 6th sack of the year. And here's Carissa with a game break.
Thanks, Chris. Washington trailing 24-0, looking to get back in it. Taylor Heineke gets away, sends this one downfield. 43-yard score, 2-point conversion good. Washington now down by 16. Chris?
All right, thanks very much. Rivalry game going on there. KC Raiders, Chiefs Raiders. That's all KC in that rivalry game. 38-9 in the 4th. KC. They got a winning streak going. 3rd and 19. And Mills gets out of it. Open is the tight end, Brevin Jordan, but short of the first down. Seahawk defense does its job. Just like last week, opposing offense is getting nothing.
Darrell Taylor starting to be an issue for this Houston Texans offense. He is starting to really get some pressure on Davis Mills. Again, he was the one that forced him to step up and break outside.
Cameron Johnston.
Let's go.
Again, voting in the Pro Bowl, his 5th punt today. Both he and the AFC, NFC for Dixon, top vote getters at the position. Swain running sideways, but finding room to move upfield, and runs into the punter before going out of bounds. Nifty return from Freddie Swain. Seahawks protecting the lead and back on offense. Pete Carroll emphasizing to Darrell and I've never not emphasized the run. He wanted to make that point when we talked to him about, well, he likes those 30 rushes a game. I think they're around 19 so far, but he said letting Russ do that thing in the kitchen. He was having fun with the media and let Russ cook. But sometimes that's your best option when you got Russ. That was a 35-yard punt, but a 22-yard return by Swain. So they netted only 13, which sets up the Seahawks in pretty good shape at their own 33-yard line. I'll have another look at that return. And an important game for Seattle as Rashad Penny from the backfield. Disley in motion, moving around from his tight end spot. And he has it. Let's go back on that return and the coverage.
Yeah, so this is the Gunners on the outside. So A.J. Moore, number 33, he's going to go beyond. He's going to down the ball. Now, 24, Tremont Smith, he's got to be on the upfield shoulder of Freddie Swain. See how he crosses right there? Now, you had to have your eyes on him to realize he did not signal fair catch. So Tremont Smith had to come in at a different angle. And you end up leaving your punter to make the tackle on that one. And sometimes that doesn't work out very well.
And Johnston at least ran him out of bounds. A little more up-tempo here. Back to Rashad Penny. We'll bring up a third down. That's Neville Hewitt, who is in for Grugier Hill. And this, watch the face of the punter, Cameron Johnston, he actually played Australian rules football, did not make it to the top league, but probably took it back to those days a little bit because the special teams unit didn't do as much. So this is a kind of a Johnston-Myers game. You got Jason Myers on one side, and Cameron Johnston on the other, and in the booth, Daryl Johnston and Chris Myers. So we hope you're enjoying an entertaining game here in Houston. Maybe a little too much entertainment for Seahawks fans. They'd like to put this away. At least on 3rd and 7. Russell Wilson would. He's looking around and completes for the first down. Midfield, Gerald Everett.
Gerald Everett working that side there. And again, it's just the mobility of Russell Wilson, right? He steps up. You got to honor that. You got to step up. You got to move a little bit. And he's able to get Christian Kirksey not to be able to continue his progression over towards Gerald Everett because he's got to honor Russell Wilson with the football in his hand moving forward.
Russell Wilson has it and bounced it down to Lockett. He was open. As I say, Russell Wilson, news came out again. He's got 2 years on his contract. Pete Carroll signed through 2025. What about the future? He never said that he wanted to be traded. Now there's some rumblings. Things came out, and Pete and Russell just asked me about things being unhappy or whatever in the offense, but reiterated to us, as he did to others this week, about I'd love to finish my career in Seattle, and pointed out guys like Derek Jeter and Kobe Bryant he admired for being with the same franchise and having success their entire careers. And so that's rare. He'd like to be part of that. Penny on the catch and spins out the tackle of Lonnie Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, I got to play with the Dallas Cowboys for my entire career, and it is an important thing for a player, and you get ingrained into the community. But I think some of the frustration for Russell, too, is a little bit more of what's happening in that front office, that personnel department. He would like for them to include him in some of the conversations, and we see more and more of these franchise quarterbacks that are asking for the opportunity, to be a part of the discussion, not to do the job, because it's too much heavy lifting for a quarterback to be successful on the field and then to be able to shift and go into personnel. They just want to be consulted, and hey, how do you feel about what we need to address in the offseason to get back to the level we were?
On 3rd and 9. Open. Lockett. He's got it. Inside the 20. And that's a first down. Seattle. Well thrown ball from Russell Wilson. And over 1,000 receiving yards this season, his 3rd straight for Tyler Lockett.
Coming from the inside right there, number 16, just on another one of those over routes. You get kind of in between that level of linebacker and secondary, and boy, oh boy, what a heck of a throw by Russell Wilson, because that was a small window.
29-yard pickup. That's Metcalf. And eventually takes 2 to push him toward the sideline, but still in bounds. And Lockett, by the way, 3rd straight. So only Steve Largent as a Seahawk, 3 consecutive 1,000-yard receiving seasons. He's a Hall of Famer.
I mean, you're moving to your left as a right-handed quarterback. You've got a small window to drop that ball in, and it is right on the money by Russell Wilson.
For the end zone, there's a flag. Yeah, they were holding on to DK Metcalf. Lonnie Johnson just didn't want to let him go because he knew he was beaten. It would have been his 9th touchdown grab of the year, but this should set the Seahawks up unless they say something else went on over there.
Well, you wonder now if there's any taunting. Are they thinking about taunting? It's a double move. He's got him beat. There's the penalty.
Defense, number 1.
No, he just really.
Yeah.
I think he wanted
first down.
Wanted to bring attention to it. Well,
I thought at the end, because there were so many flags, and it was an obvious PI, that did something else happen after we took our eyes away from it.
Yeah, and they've been overzealous on the taunting. You know, we get that, but my goodness, it's an emotional game. Let's draw a line here somewhere. 7-yard line is where they'll get the 1st and goal. Just over 8 minutes to go. Wilson behind Metcalf, unless Metcalf cut that in a little early. I don't know. You tell me, Darryl. Is that just a mix-up?
No, I think it's just a bad location by Russell Wilson. I mean, he's way off the ball. There's too much cushion by Lonnie Johnson right there. If that ball is out in front, that's an easy catch and run. I don't know if Jonathan Owens gets there in time to put the hit on DK Metcalf before he breaks the plane, but the Texans got lucky right there because Russell Wilson just missed him on that one.
Lonnie Johnson stays top of your screen, the bigger DB for Houston with Metcalf. It's a handoff to Penny, who spins down to the 1.5-yard line. And now we're going to be under 8 minutes to go in the 4th quarter.
Well, he's really finished physically on some of his runs today.
That's got to be encouraging. Seahawks will ride that horse as long as they can if he's healthy.
I mean, you look at Alex Collins, and he's the guy that kind of runs with that attitude and kind of sets the tempo, the tone for the running game. But Rashad Penny has kind of picked up that role, not just explosive with what he's doing from the running back position, and Adrian Peterson's got to be happy what he's seeing from Rashad Penny out there.
Inactive after scoring a touchdown last week for Seattle. On 3rd and goal, Russell Wilson has it wide open for the touchdown. Is Gerald? He didn't get in. Yes, he did. He crossed the plane before being pulled back and ruled a touchdown for Gerald Everett. Once beat, nice defensive effort, but ruled a touchdown.
This is such a great effort by Desmond King, because he's your corner on the opposite side of the field.
It was close, but I think they got it right. They'll review it, confirm it. Just takes any part of the football to cross that plane. And he's not down, right? Well, he doesn't like
that. It's tough. I don't think there's enough to change it if they called touchdown on the field. You know, I haven't seen anything that indicates they'd be able to change that.
They're gonna take a closer look. It's a big play. Ruled a touchdown. Gerald Everett on the catch from Russell Wilson. Adrian Hill just announced after review the call on the field stands. That's why the 12s who traveled here to Houston are cheering. It's a touchdown, and they're going for 2 to make it 27-13. Looking for that 14-point difference and a last-minute defensive substitution. Wilson has time. Throws in the end zone. Lockett hangs on, and that's 2. Their second try, their first 2-point conversion this year, and it's a 14-point difference. So that touchdown, it looked close on the review, but ruled a touchdown on the field by Everett. Tremendous defensive play to make it interesting.
Yeah, Desmond King just does a great job. You know, even here's Desmond King right here. He's the guy that's going to hit Gerald Everett right here. So this is just tremendous hustle just to put this play. Look at how far he has to go, how many bodies he has to navigate. Comes up and makes that hit right there. We were in conversation with Mike Pereira. Mike Pereira really felt that right knee was down.
And look, the ball
before they broke the plane. So we really thought that when they came out of break, it was going to be 4th and goal, you know, right up, nudged up to that goal line.
For Everett, his 3rd touchdown catch as a Seahawk on this season. Russell Wilson has thrown 2 today and a clutch drive. And this on the conversion. Boy, the way he scans the field, it's just tough to cover guys that long. Lock it back there. You see Metcalf, a lot of targets, and that's big.
Yeah, a lot to ask from your defense to be able to cover that long with Russell Wilson on the move.
So that's what Pete, when he says let Russ cook or be in the kitchen, set it up with the run and finish the drive with a touchdown. And on the return, Draymond Smith stops short of the 30. Celebrate Christmas with a boom. Fox Sports proudly presents a documentary. Really, it's a tribute to one of the football's most beloved figures, the coach, broadcaster, video game. It's all Madden premieres Christmas Day on Fox.
Yeah, right. Revolutionized our industry. I mean, it used to be you just kind of visited with the PR people, and as soon as John got involved, John wanted to talk to the coaches, to the players. I don't want to talk to the PR guy. Let me talk to the guys who are going to be out there on the field.
He would have had a funny remark about that guy with the hair a moment ago.
Oh, yeah. Can you imagine what he'd be saying right now?
Changed broadcasting as we know it. Mills trying to bring his team back. Completes to Philip Dorsett.
And how much has he grown the game? You know, how many fans did he bring to the game because of his unique style of covering the game, and then just Madden, you know, on the video game platform. You know, how many young kids did he bring into the game of football?
Bursting through on a beer commercial. He was just a big personality.
Hey, wait a minute.
That's the boom part of it. Pass is knocked away. DJ Reed got in front of Brandon Cooks. There is a flag at midfield.
Well, it's been a fun battle to watch all day. Brandon Cooks and DJ Reed on the outside.
And you showed the play by Bishop a moment ago.
Pass interference, defense. Number 2. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
So they are calling on Reed here. I meant Desmond King a moment ago. I want to make that point. But what do you think of this call, Daryl?
Yeah, well, it's been tough today, right? So maybe a hold, you know, is the ball in the air, so then it becomes pass interference. But they've been kind of ticky-tack at times, and other times they let them really kind of be aggressive out there on the outside. So I think it's hard for the guys then because they don't really know exactly what the parameters are by the crew.
Gives them a first down. It's going to be Freeman working his way across midfield. I mentioned Desmond King, and you showed that defensive hustle, even though that was ruled a touchdown and it stood by Everett. There was the big defensive play by DJ Reed when the Texans in the first half thought they had a touchdown. He kept them out. It was the Brandon Cooks play, and then there was a penalty, and they ended up settling for a field goal. That could figure big if it went differently here. Mills, incomplete. Trying to go to Freeman.
Yeah, got to be careful right there. You got to be able to see that. That was potentially a tough decision by Davis Mills right there, because Ugo Amadi was in really good coverage right there. Almost was able to undercut that.
And getting an update that Desmond King is being evaluated for a concussion in that secondary of Houston. 3rd and 3, less than 6.5 to go. Mills has played a terrific game. They're trailing by 14. Here comes the blitz. He's on the move and knocked away from Cooks. Ugo Amadi's been everywhere, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen potentially a run play right there. You know, they've been effective with it. You know, you're in 4-down territory. Well, you're right. He's step for step, you know, seeing it, reading it. Again, he was in a position to undercut the last throw. He does undercut that throw.
I didn't realize Amadi was that close to having an interception. They are going to go on 4th and 3. It's a good point, Daryl. If you know you're going to go and you need to, you probably could cut into that yardage on 3rd down, so you have a better chance here. Bills well protected and almost intercepted. Overthrew Robin Jordan at Quandre Diggs, born and raised about 40 miles from here, who's been the defensive MVP, according to Ken Norton of the Seahawks team, has 4 interceptions. He was back there on the high throw, but they do the job again in the second half, shutting down the opposition's offense.
Yeah, last week they shut out San Francisco, and today they're pitching a shutout here against the Houston Texans. Just a little bit of everything, right? If Al Wood's inside, you're talking about Bobby Wagner. I mean, he's been so consistent throughout his career, and they've gotten a little bit of pressure. And you look at Darrell Taylor, you know, he's been impactful here in the second half with his pass rush from the edge.
And again, playing without a guy who's been a staple in that secondary. And Jamal Adams has done a lot of things, another shoulder surgery. He's out the remainder of the way. Defense is held up just as the play clock went down to 1. Working Rashad Penny as they said they would. So this is a big game for the Seahawks to hold on to, not only to keep their winning season streak in line, but to just stay alive in the scramble for the wild card position. The Rams lead it. They'll play Monday night against Arizona, the team that leads the West. But there's really 2 spots at the moment figure mathematically up for grabs. So even those 4-win teams, if they push forward, Panthers are losing right now, but both the Falcons and the Saints are winning. So a Seahawk win would move them up a notch. Washington is losing. 49ers have a tough game with the Bengals. Penny again showing tough yards and a burst of speed. Rashad Penny with his second touchdown of the day. 47 yards to add to the Seahawks lead. Over 130 yards rushing today for Rashad Penny.
Going to get a nice block coming to the inside here. They're going to get the safety, Jonathan Owens, back there on that hash mark. Watch, he's going to step up. There's the block, and then Lonnie Johnson, a bad angle as he comes in. And that was one of the things that Lovie Smith had talked to us about, where the improvement in the defense had been over the last 4 games, was angles, understanding their gaps, how to fit the run. They did not fit it very well there at all.
And another missed extra point. Ouch. But a sizable lead. That guy Myers, I don't even know who he is. Distant relative, I'm telling you. They'll have a discussion. Let's take another way. This is a career high for Penny in carries, 16 and 137 yards at 2 scores.
And not just the breakaway potential that Rashad Penny has shown with his 2 big runs today. You're talking about, 47 and 32 on those touchdown runs, but the physicality that he has run with between the tackles, that's what I have been impressed with today. Kind of pushing that pile, yards after contact, and then you put that together with the ability to take it to the house. That's a heck of an afternoon.
We mentioned where he was picked, but missed nearly half of the 60 available games because of injury. Even this year, limited to 5 games. Prior to this, he had a calf injury in the opener. Kept him out. Then he had a hamstring problem. And adding to a career day for him, including the 2 touchdowns.
And the good thing is he takes a lot of that pressure off of Alex Collins. So Alex Collins, who was rested last week to try and recover from that groin injury, that core injury, this is almost another week. You had a little bit of work out there today, but when Rashad Penny can go out and do all the heavy lifting, they get almost another bonus week for Alex Collins.
Anthony O'Clair, the reserve tight end, picks up the kick. Let's check in with Jen.
Chris, a banner day, no doubt, for Rashad Penny. This has to feel so good because his season has been marred by a good performance and then an injury, a good performance and then an injury. Pete Carroll said this is like the start of his season, and it's very special to him. Take a look. That touchdown from the first half, he wanted to keep the game ball. He made sure they labeled it. That one's going in the trophy case. We'll see what he does with this second one. He certainly earned it today, guys.
Career highs in touchdown runs, carries, yardage. It's up to Mills to try and rally the Texans. Down to one healthy running back in Royce Freeman. And he got the first down. Chris Carson had the neck injury. Travis Homer inactive today in the running game, and Collins was not 100%, so Penny got the bulk of the work. And that's kind of the situation that Freeman's in. He's going to race and get out of bounds near midfield. Houston scoreless in the second half. Seahawks have put up 17 points. A 33-13 lead. Seattle has broken open what was a tight game.
Yeah, and I think in the first half, what you saw was Davis Mills in this offense was able to overcome some bad plays. Incompletion there. Whether it was a penalty, whether it was a no gain, they were able to kind of follow that up with an opportunity to move the chains. And in this half, they just really haven't done that. When they've gotten into a bad position, they haven't been able to do it. It looks like we had a big collision down here because Brevin Jordan is down. I'm not sure who it is. Looks like it might be DJ Reed for the Seahawks,
who've both been active today. Actually, Alton Robinson too deflected that pass, and at least Jordan had a touchdown catch. The rookie tight end from Miami.
Yeah, so you got 2 guys crossing the field doing their job, and they don't even see each other, and they run smack into each other.
Check on the injuries. Under 5 to play.
Come alive for me. Come alive for me. Come alive for me. Come alive for me.
Go to NFLShop.com for a special offer.
I was born for this. I'm gonna sing my heart out.
2-hour season finale.
I'm ready for this battle!
All are unmasked.
You are the new voice for The Masked Singer.
Yeah! The Masked Singer season finale, Wednesday on Fox.
Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs going for it all. Touchdown! Take on Justin Herbert and the Chargers. Chiefs, Chargers, Thursday Night Football on Fox, NFL Network, and streaming on Prime Video.
So here's DJ Reed here, Brevin Jordan up here off that tight end spot. Now watch, they're going to be crisscrossing the field, and they're just going to run head on into each other right there.
Ooh, wow.
So big collision in the middle of the field. Hope both of those guys are all right.
Yeah, you got one guy, Jordan is 245 and 6'3", and Reed's 5'9" and about 190. So he got the worst of that, at least the way it looked. They were able to get up and move over to the sideline. So now from their own 49-yard line, the Texans continue on 2nd and 10. It's a delay to Freeman. It's to about the 47. Well, the Texans, you know, they have about a dozen players that remain from the team 2 years ago. We're talking 2019. They won the AFC South division. They beat Buffalo in the playoffs. Remember, they had that big lead. Deshaun Watson, who has not played this year and will not again play for this organization, according to them, was part of that. Going deep and incomplete for Philip Dorsett. And trying to rebuild are the Houston Texans. Let's get a game break from Carissa.
Thank you, Chris. Remember when everyone was worried about the Chiefs? Worry no more. Derek Gore takes this one 51 yards to the house, as the Chiefs will most likely win their 6th consecutive game. 48-9 is a safe score. Chris?
All right, thanks very much. And the Raiders tumbling out of the AFC playoff picture. Every game with all those teams that are in that expanded wild card hunt, which has been such a great part of the NFL, and teams having hope to get into playoffs late, as the Seahawks are hoping for. Mills, here comes a flag. He's going to throw deep, triple coverage, and almost intercepted. In fact, it probably should have been. Ryan Neal has played a good game. He's been a valuable player, backing up Jamal Adams much of his career and helping out on special teams, and now playing for him.
Holding offense. Number 65. That penalty is declined. First down, Seattle.
Call on Lane Taylor.
It's like in the outfield, right? You got to say, I got it, I got it. I think that right there, Quandre Diggs has got to let Ryan Neal take that. That's Ryan Neal's interception.
Yeah, Diggs trying to get his 5th. Yeah, they would have actually lost about 20 yards if it was intercepted, so it probably worked out well on a.
Maybe that's what Quandre was doing. He knew that, he knew Ryan wanted. There's no way he's thinking that we get better field position if he just lets this thing hit the ground.
Defense done a nice job again. The Seahawks on their way to going 5-8. Going to play the Rams next Sunday in LA. They get the Bears and the Lions at home, and then finish at Arizona. It's the Cardinals, who have the best record in the NFL, and again play on Monday night. So they're really one game off the playoff line.
Yeah. This will be a 30-second timeout.
And there is a look at the schedule. By the way, speaking of the schedule, I want to wish Howard Katz well. League office does NFL scheduling. Had an operation, a birthday. He's doing okay on the recovery, resting well, and wish him the best. It's a tough road when you think about team in your division, but they get a break in there, and they can't afford a misstep at all, or their winning season and playoff hopes will vanish.
Yeah, and the bad thing is they're at the bad end of the tiebreakers. The head-to-head have lost some games to the teams that are right above them. You know, conference record. So those first 2 tiebreakers, Seattle is not in a good position.
Nick Ballore from Russell Wilson. But boy, when you have it, just shows you the value, and that's why Russell Wilson, I don't think the Seahawk organization, Daryl, this is my opinion. I started calling games with Fox the minute Russell was coming into the league, and you have a guy like that, like you talk about a franchise quarterback, you're just not going to let him go. I mean, and he said he wants to be an owner one day, and I think they'll work with him, ownership, coaches, whatever, to make sure that that he stays in Seattle. And look at the wins by a combo. The most wins, this is including the postseason, which is impressive because they've been to a couple of Super Bowls. Look at the names: Shula Marino and Nolan Bradshaw.
Well, what do all those combinations have in common? They're all Super Bowl champions. And when you have a head coach and a franchise quarterback that get to work together for an extended period of time and create that continuity, this is what's possible. I mean, that's an amazing list to be a part of, and every single one of those combinations have won at least one Super Bowl.
There's Alex Collins with a late carry, giving Rashad Penny a break on his career day. 3rd and 2. We have a timeout. Thursday Night Football this week, a showdown of the AFC West. You heard the update moments ago on Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, who are rolling. They'll be in L.A. to take on Justin Herbert and the Chargers. Herbert is a terrific talent, a fun guy to watch. Coverage 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on Fox, the NFL Network, and streaming live on Prime Video. Chargers, one of those teams trying to work their way into the playoffs as the Chiefs have moved to the top spot and pretty good control there.
How did the Chiefs work themselves out of that hole, though? I mean, yeah, they had some injuries and everything, but really it was turnovers and bad defense.
Yep, and
they've gotten it fixed.
That's what changed there. I'm telling you, they ran the ball better, and the defense made some adjustments. And Mahomes didn't have to put it all on himself. Should be a good game. Collins again, and runs out of bounds. We talked about him being a Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year nominee. Tyler Lockett, big day for him.
Yeah, really nice day, and just that chemistry that he has with Russell Wilson. He works the sidelines so well, and then that was the big splash play right at the end of the half that really kind of got this offense jump started, and they came out in the second half and continued right where they left off. And when you let Russell Wilson scramble around that long, he's going to find Tyler Lockett. He's going to find DK Metcalf. And as you pointed out, Tyler Lockett, Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee for the Seattle Seahawks. The cool thing about this organization for Seattle is not just that. Who picked that up? That was behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, the rookie Eskridge gets back on it after probably should have hauling it in on second down.
But the guys that have been nominated by Seattle, who they are as a part of those great Seahawk teams. So not only do you have your best players that are a part of those championship teams, but there's some of your best people in the community doing the best things. And that's a really unique situation. And the Seattle Seahawks just had all their big star players were their Walter Payton Man of the Year nominees year after year.
Yeah, Russell Wilson won it, but look at these names they've all been to Pro Bowls. Bobby Wagner was saying, man, I feel like, one of the last survivors along with Russell and Lockett on this particular team.
That's why you have great teams. They're not just great football players, they're great men. And that's when something unique happens. And that's why you're able to go 9 consecutive years making the playoffs.
Houston going to take a timeout. And Darryl, from an on-field standpoint, and both Wagner and Pete Carroll talked to you about having to evolve when you lose certain kinds of players that you could count on that were there for a long time. It's rare to keep a group like that together. You think of the Legion of Boom and how you've had to adjust to that. There's Shane Waldron with Russell Wilson.
These are one of the teams that helped me kind of buy into that window theory. I was never a big window guy, but in the era of free agency, absolutely. With salary caps and free agency, there are windows of opportunities for these teams to make Super Bowl appearances and win Super Bowl championships. And I think that's one of the frustrating things for Seattle is they only got one out of that great group of players. They had an opportunity for 2, but they only got the one, and I think that's going to be something that drives them to try and get back, season after season.
They should have had 2. That call, you want to talk about going for it, but that was a different situation. As Collins, he's maybe a little beat up. They want him to get some work. His 8th carry of this game, and so Pete Carroll, who wanted 30 rushes, he said that's a good number. They're just at about that number today. 16 for Penny, 8 for Collins. Had a few one from Russell. Swain, Everett carried.
Still on the backside of that time of possession, though. But today it's a good thing because they had explosive touchdowns. Tyler Lockett with 1, Rashad Penny with 2. So yeah, maybe not holding the ball as long, but they were getting splash plays for touchdowns this week.
See if Dixon can get another inside the 20 punt. Trying to set a Seahawk record. Yeah, they want the delay intentionally, give him a little more room. The Seahawks record that he owns, he was second in the NFL in that department overall, but 35. And right now he is at 33 or 34. We'll double check today's number. So one more. He has one today. Okay, so one more.
Delay game, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
He'll actually need.
Will start on the snap.
Yeah, 1 to tie his record, and 2 for the Seahawks record. David Culley, who said when we asked about his first year, he waited all these years as an assistant to be a head coach. He said it was about all that I thought it would be, and then some other things. Yeah. He thought he'd have Deshaun Watson to start the year, and that's been a mess. So we'll have to sort that out. As Dixon will drop this inside the 15, it looks like. We've reached the 2-minute warning. Seahawks in control of things at 33-13.
See, how they finish, what they consider to be the key component. And for David Culley, I think that the opportunity with Davis Mills here at the end of the year.
Dumps it off to Royce Freeman.
Remember, we talked, this is not an audition. Coach Culley felt that Davis Mills gave his team the best opportunity for success down the stretch. So they're going to benefit from the injury of Tyrod Taylor early in the year and then his poor play over the last 4 games. So they're going to know a lot more about Davis Mills going into 2022. So in my opinion,
Brandon Cooks with a first down up to the 40.
In my opinion, with a quarterback class coming out of college, it doesn't even come close to last year's, where you had all those quarterbacks that were at the top of the draft. The Houston Texans are going to pass. They're going to go to the other areas. Is it an edge rusher? Is it somebody at the tackle position? Where are the key positions on our team, which is rush end, left tackle, corner? Those key ones that you have to really solidify. Which one do they prioritize, and who's on their draft board that gives them the best chance to get better? I think that they're going to have the opportunity to add some pieces around Davis Mills this year to try and help him out.
2nd down 4. Mills continues to work. And a crowd leaping up to grab it is Nico Collins, the rookie from Michigan.
It's one of the guys that Nick Caserio went after in the draft in 2021. Traded away some picks to move up back into that 3rd round and go get Nico Collins. And you can see some of the athleticism right there, going up, high point in that football, tight coverage, 3 guys around him.
Well, speaking of Michigan, and I think Gavin Heslop is slow getting up for Seattle, but Aiden Hutchinson, of course, a lot of teams would love him. You talk about a pass rusher, born and raised in Michigan, but his father, Chris Hutchinson, also played at Michigan, went to Cypress Creek High School near Houston, emergency room doctor, so maybe somebody that they will have a chance with. Boy, he looks like he's in pain. Heslop was activated when Jamal Adams went out, and they had a roster spot in that secondary. So we hope that he's okay as they check on Gavin Heslop. The odds as we go bigger picture, Daryl, on the Seahawks. Without Russell Wilson, obviously they fell into a rough spot, lost some games trying to make up ground. And so even if they do win out, I guess as long as you have Russell Wilson, even though the odds may be stacked against him, you always have a chance.
Yeah, that's probably why. Yeah,
healthy Russell.
Yeah, Coach Carroll after the game last week. We're not dead yet. When you've got Russell Wilson, you've got an opportunity to win games. Can that running back group continue to play like they did today? Rashad Penny especially. Can Alex Collins get healthy? I like DJ Dallas. I'd rather see DJ Dallas out there right now and really kind of take some of those snaps away from Alex Collins so he can maybe get a little bit healthier down the stretch, because I really do think that this is when this team plays really, really well. When they can run the ball effectively and make you honor that run game and then have Russell Wilson at quarterback, that's when that Seattle offense is very dangerous.
Yeah, they said that, and there's Heslop being taken to the locker room, when the Russell Wilson has brought the play action success back to life for Seattle, and that the other part of that is just what you said, the running game. If they get the kind of running from a healthy Rashad Penny,
and that's the key, right? Can he continue to stay healthy? Because I think that guy right there, DJ Dallas, there's an opportunity. It was interesting to hear how Pete Carroll said, and Russell Wilson both shared with us what an impact Adrian Peterson has made on him already just in the short time they've been together.
Yeah, Russell's line was, those are guys that stay. He said he was there at 9 o'clock at night. Adrian Peterson was still there because that's our lifestyle. That's how the guys who want to be great, stay great. That's what they do. That's what Russell Wilson did. Used his time wisely while he was injured. Davis Mills got the start for Houston as a rookie. A long way to go in his career. It's Collins who made that terrific catch a moment ago. Short of the first down.
But as a young guy trying to get into this league and find your way, to have that guy in your running back room and be able to watch what he does, how he prepares, how he takes care of his body. Russell really feels that it's going to pay huge dividends for DJ Dallas down the road.
Seahawks will go to 13-1 in their last stretch of games in the 10 a.m. Pacific time period. They've only allowed, I would say, look, they came in below 19 points a game, sixth best in the NFL. That's the most important defensive stat, is points you give up. And in a tight game here, the defense held on, didn't allow anything so far these final 11 seconds.
Just got to get that first half figured out.
Well, it'll be an interesting challenge against the Rams. Looking forward, the Rams will be coming off a tough game Monday night, win or lose, to take on another division opponent in Seattle next Sunday. Catch made. Can Cooks get out before the clock strikes 0? 5 seconds remain. And regular season wins is 150th, 161st overall. It ties Bill Cowher, the Hall of Famer, 19th on the list. Has gone to a couple of Super Bowls, and still he always has the energy. But restored energy when his team's on a roll like this. And a smile with the 5th win of the season in the bag. Bonus coverage of the Cowboys in Washington coming up. All of a sudden, that's a 7-point game. Mearl is going to have to be revived here. Almost fainted.
What was that?
Looked like a blowout a moment ago. And what's Davis Mills going to do? He's going to end on the ground, on the floor. He played a heck of a game, but came up short against the better team. Pete Carroll, Russell Wilson, and the Seahawk defense do their job to go to 5-8. We'll have more from Houston on this game in a moment.